Hello and welcome to more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. We are on episode 3 of Phoenix Wright Trials and Tribulations, which is the final game in the Phoenix Wright Trilogy. So we are on the cusp of wrapping things up and getting to the Apollo Justice Trilogy, which as of this recording came out last month. But before we do that, we have to clear up what's going on in this game and what is up with the mysterious Prosecutor Godot. So, we're going to continue that story in episode 3, Recipe for Turnabout.
That's enough! This court sees no reason to further prolong the trial. This case is extremely clear. I see no room for misinterpretation of the facts.
It wasn't me! I swear it wasn't me!
The evidence and testimony we've seen and heard are conclusive. The victim was alone at his table when he drank from that poisoned cup of coffee.
No! You're wrong! I know what I saw! I saw... I saw someone else there! A man! He's the real killer! Who is this? Why won't anyone believe me? Well, I'd say that pretty much wraps this case up, wouldn't you? Mr. Wright?
This court finds the defendant guilty. This court is adjourned.
January 6th. January 6th, 10:03 a.m. The Wright & Co. Law Offices. Ah! The start of the new year always makes me feel like it could take on the whole world. Huh, I wonder what that scene was we just saw. Was that the future? Was that the past? What could it mean? I bet it does, Maya. So, I've decided that our resolution should be Zvati, take on the world. What do you think? Sure, whatever, Maya. But I think maybe you've had more than enough mistletoe cake. Mistletoe cake? I've never heard of such a thing. Is there such a thing? Never. You've got to eat a lot of cake during New Year's. It's practically a tradition. Like watching the fireworks on TV or playing a board game.
Hey, pal!
Detective Gumshoe? Happy New Year, Detective!
Likewise. Now listen up, right? I wanna...
Here's to another fruitful year of lawyer-police cooperation.
Yeah, me too. All right, pal! You got some explaining to...
Have you got a holiday present for me, Detective?
What? Well, yeah, have this. It's really nothing much, but,
Yay, thanks!
Look, pal, we need to have a talk. Take a seat.
Hey, what about Pearlie? You haven't forgotten her present, have you?
No. I mean, yes, no. Are you doing this on purpose?
I guess I'm busted. How did you like my first practical joke of the year?
Very funny, pal. Now, let's see how funny you think it is when I show you this.
What is it? A magazine? Hey, I want to see. Deadly poisoning brings guilty verdict. Defense attorney Wright trounced. Trounced? Let me see that. The defense attorney gave an almost childishly amateur performance yesterday. What the heck is this?
It's a report, pal, about you.
Listen to this. Mr. Wright must take full responsibility for the ruling in this case.
Well, and don't tell me you don't remember anything about it.
But I don't remember anything about it. When was that issue from, anyway?
December of last year, which I guess makes it last month.
Which makes it old news, you mean? But I wasn't involved in a poisoning case in December. So what do you think this is all about, Nick?
If it wasn't you, pal, then that leaves only one possibility.
No way. You don't mean a phony Nick? This must be Gumshoe's idea of a joke. Guess he's starting off the year with one too. Magazine clipping. An article from December 5th says I was trounced and my client was found guilty.
So? What are you gonna do about it, pal?
What do you mean, what am I gonna do about it? Well, it's your fault that the judge found the defendant guilty in this case. My fault? How do you figure that? Because the Phoenix Wright is super famous now. Well, maybe only sort of.
Yeah, see what happens when you hotshots start getting too full of yourselves?
But I didn't do anything wrong, at least not that I can remember.
You better make this right, pal, now! And that means taking the case back to court. Got it?
Sounds like we've got our first case of the new year. Let's tackle it with gusto. I don't know. The judge already issued a guilty verdict once in this case. It's not going to be easy to get it overturned. I guess that New Year's resolution is going to have to wait until next year.
So you're taking the case, right? Good. I'm going to head over to the courthouse then. After that, I'll go back to the precinct. Drop by if you need something, okay, pal?
I guess people are starting to know the name Phoenix Wright. The client entrusted a case to me based on my reputation. I guess I am kind of responsible. But why would someone want to impersonate me? What sort of a guy would do that? What do we do, Maya? So what's our first move? I guess we go down to the detention center and talk. Wait a sec, Nick. This person's behind bars because of you. Whoever it is isn't going to be jumping at the chance to meet you, right? Hey, let's get one thing straight. It wasn't me. It was a fake me that did this. I wonder if he looks exactly like you. Your phony Zin Yop, I mean. I hope not. And what kind of name for an evil double is Zin Yop anyway? Wait. Oh. Phoenix. I get it. It's Phoenix spelled backwards. Zin Eop. Ah, Nick, I've got it. If you're gonna ask whether I've got a twin brother, the answer is no. Spoil sport. You got any ideas? Did you notice Gumshoe was acting weirder than usual, or was it just me? What do you mean? I mean, he was really worked up. Like a guy who just found out he's gonna be a dad or something. Yeah, I guess he was acting kinda strange. Maybe he realized he's got strong feelings for you, Nick. Considering how we interact, I seriously doubt that, Maya. Well, if he wasn't nervous because of you, then maybe it's because of our new guilty client? Huh, wonder who it could be. There's nobody Gumshoe has shown a great liking for in the past, right? Magazine clipping. What do you think? I can't believe you've got an impersonator. I can't either. But look on the bright side. Only famous stars have people impersonating them. This isn't funny, Maya. It's not just an impersonation. This guy stole my identity. And someone may have been wrongly convicted as a result. Guess you should have gone into showbiz, huh, Nick? I'll never understand how your mind works, Maya. It's a good thing I'll never be connected with show business in the next trilogy. All right. And your Magatama? You want to talk about that? No, she has nothing to say. All right. Talk about my badge. So you still got that badge, I see. Huh? Well, I'm a lawyer, aren't I? Yeah, but I guess I just didn't think you'd keep on being one for this long. You have to admit, you've had some close brushes with death because of your job. I fail to see how being a lawyer is more dangerous than channeling dead people. All right, well, let's go to the detention center, I guess. January 6th, detention center, visitor's room. YouTube, by the way, that's the date it's giving me. So don't get upset that I'm saying that date, okay? This is so nerve-wracking, waiting to meet our new client. I wonder what kind of person you tricked and got found guilty. Keep it down, Maya. That kind of talk could ruin me. Ah! How could you, Mr. Wright? See, look. Literally on the floor shaking right now, see? How could you do this to me? They put me in solitary. I haven't been able to stop crying. Aren't you? Yes, I am. I am totally and utterly let down. Are you? Don't pretend you don't know me. It's me, Maggie, remember? Maggie Bird. Maggie Bird? Oh. Maggie Bird, she's the policewoman I defended that one time. She was accused of murdering her lover. He was a cop, too. That was that case where I got amnesia. Yeah, I remember that one. What are you doing in here? Didn't I get you a Oh, sure, very funny. After that fifth-rate defense job, you come in here and start making jokes? You better hurry up and tell her what happened, Nick. Oh, I see. So that's where we stand right now. I'm sorry you've been caught up in another murder. My whole life has been nothing but a whirlwind of bad luck and failures. I vaguely remember her saying the exact same thing last time. But I don't mind. What's one more disaster in my life? At least now the real Mr. Wright is here with me. I won't let the world keep me down, sir. Let's talk about this. Maggie Bird. So how come you're dressed up like that, Maggie? Last year you looked so sharp in that police uniform. I was fired after that incident last year. Oh, I'm sorry. It's okay. I don't mind one bit. I enjoyed being on the force, but I think it was time for me to move on. So, what do you do now? In the second act of The Life of Maggie Bird, I am playing the role of a waitress. A waitress? Yes, in a French restaurant. It's a small place, but it's quite fashionable. So, fun fact, you might remember in case number 5 in the first game, the Rise from the Ashes with Damon Gant and all that, that case was added after the trilogy was done. There's actually a flyer for this restaurant, and I think I pointed it out back then too. So this is one of the many callbacks to that. My charming smile and shapely figure came through for me. Yes, it's that kind of a restaurant. And the owner, Mr. Armstrong, hired me straight away, sir. Mr. Armstrong has many powerful techniques, and he's a great alchemist. And then you got into this mess straight away, right? Yeah, you could put it that way. Nobody cares about that case. I want to know how this ties into the circus case. Yes. We all want to know. I'd like to know how the circus case tied into the circus case, frankly. All right, what happened? Let's talk about that. This whole mess started on the 3rd of last month, and it happened at Très Bien. Très Bien? Yes, it's a restaurant where good service and a friendly smile are always included. Oh. There were 2 men at the table, both drinking coffee. And then... one of the men slipped some poison into the victim's cup. The victim took just 1 sip and was gasping for air. I was so shocked, I passed out. Hey, hold on there, Maggie. What? You keep calling the guy the victim. Didn't you know the guy who was killed? Not at all. I'd never even seen the guy before. Oh. So she wouldn't have had a motive to kill him then, I guess. And the other man, the killer, you saw him, right? Of course. A good waitress must be attentive to the clientele. So you saw the killer, but you were found guilty of the crime anyway? How come? You tell me, Mr. Wright. Ah! I guess the answer to my question is my phony. Anyway, she saw the killer. Better see if I can get a description of the guy. Guilty verdict. So, if you saw the murderer, why were you still convicted? Because no one else saw. Saw what? The other man, the one who put the poison in the victim's coffee. Everyone testified that way. Mr. Armstrong, the customer, everyone. The victim was sitting alone at his table the whole time. But how's that possible? I don't know, but nobody, not one person would believe me, sir. Even Phoenix Wright, my one last hope for a fair trial, failed me. What a pathetic defense. My granny could have done a better job. Look, that wasn't me, okay? And then they found something a bit incriminating in my apron pocket. What? A small bottle. Poison. What? Poison? It was in your pocket? Well, I passed out when the victim collapsed. The killer must have slipped the poison into my pocket when I was unconscious. And no one else saw this other guy? No, sir. That's what everyone said, but I don't see how they could have missed him. Interesting. The other guy. I was the one who took the coffee to the two men. Uh-oh? And what was your impression of them? Well, when I first saw them, I kind of thought they might be in the music industry. In music? How come? Well, one of them had some sort of earpiece and an emo musician's look about him. Nice. And there was a sample CD on the table, sir. An earpiece and a sample CD, huh? Did you get a look at the CD at all? It had a band's name written on it. I think it was MC something? They must have been preparing for their debut, I guess. So it was a band CD. Maybe a promo disc? Maybe it was MC Screwdriver. Get serious, Maya. Would you buy the CD of a group named that? Yes. MC Nail, I think, is more appropriate, Maya. Come on. Get your jokes a little bit better. What was the name of that group again? MC Hacksaw? No, MC... And what about the killer? What did he look like? Well, I don't really remember. Only that he was a young man, well-built like the victim, really. Okay. Is that all we can talk about? Let's look at this magazine clipping. Oh yeah, I need to ask you about this. Hey, this article is about my case. Can you tell me anything about the guy who was pretending to be me? Yes, sir. It was the morning after I'd been arrested. I met you in the visitor's room here. You were wearing one of your super sharp suits. Me? Yes, you, Mr. Wright. Hey, Maggie, was my evil double I am here too? I am. No, I don't remember a phony you, Maya. Oh, would have been so cool. Then you get really worked up and passionate. I'm gonna get you a clear to this crime, you said. Okay, I get the picture, but you've met me in person before? So how come you didn't realize that guy wasn't the real me? I guess, looking back now, it was a little strange. Only a little? Well, okay, so you were a bit taller than normal, and you looked a bit shady, and your voice was a bit weird. Oh, and you had this kind of funny accent. So the guy was nothing like me then. But he had your spiky hair and blue suit. Is that all it takes for someone to imitate me? How about everyone else in the courtroom, like the judge and the observers? Do you really think the judge is paying attention to anything? Didn't they realize he was an imposter? Everyone had these big question marks on their faces, but it seemed that no one wanted to say anything, sir. This case just keeps getting weirder and weirder. Mr. Wright, do you think it's possible to get a retrial? Probably. The court ruled in the absence of a genuine defense attorney. So we should be able to get a retrial. Mr. Wright? Do you think we'll win next time? Sir? My life has been a full-course meal of bad luck, complete with defeat for dessert. Since I was 6 months old when I fell from the 9th floor of my apartment building. I've been hit by all sorts of vehicles, gotten sick from all sorts of foods, failed in almost every test I've taken, experienced almost every kind of disaster. I even landed a phony lawyer when I had the misfortune of being accused of murder. But I will survive, because Maggie Bird always lives to fight another day. And one day I'll find it. Just you wait and see, sir. I'll find that one single moment of good luck. Zenyatta is really gonna pay for this. What are you staring at me like that for? But Maya's right. Whoever it is that thought it was a good idea to use my name and get an innocent girl convicted of murder, better watch out. We'll find him, don't you worry. We'll get Zenyatta for you. Thank you. Oh, I'll tell you where Très Bien is then. Oh, right. The restaurant where the murder took place. Yes, sir. When you go, please tell Mr. Armstrong I said hi. Sure. All right, Nick. Let's go check out this restaurant and its food. Of course, you're interested in the food. They don't have burgers. Your beautiful Japanese burgers you like. Let's see. Let's talk about Gumshoe. Oh, Detective Gumshoe. He really looked out for me when I was on the force. Have you seen him recently? No, he's never been to the restaurant. Guess he's not a fan of French cuisine, huh? I don't think he can afford it. He's an instant noodle type of guy after all. Yeah, he prefers the simple things in life. Or he's just simply too poor to afford anything else. Thank you, Phoenix. That guy's salary has been cut so many times. Why is Mia in the list again? Maya. Thanks for your help last year. Oh, it was nothing. I'm glad we got you off the hook. I hope you can help me out this year, too. Yeah, me too. It'd be sweet if we could get that verdict overturned. Yeah. What about Godot? You have anything to say about him? I know I used to be on the police force, sir, but I'm incarcerated now, so I can't use my connections to help you. All I can tell you about now is info about ex-cons or the clientele of Très Bien, sir. Don't let it get you down, Maggie. What about yourself? No matter what happens, I never let things get me down. You're always so positive, aren't you, Maggie? Macho Maggie Bird, they say. The early bird catches the worm, a bird in the hand. Wow. All those phrases are named after you? And I never turn my back on anything. You're always so strong, aren't you, Maggie? Macho Maggie Bird, they say. I'm a tough old bird. Tough old bird, Nick. Do you get it? Yeah, I get it. Okay. Enough of this nonsense. Let's go to criminal affairs. January 6th, the police station, criminal affairs department. Okay, there's now 2 blue badgers in the background. There's a blue one and a pink one, and they're handcuffed together. Is that more horrifying or less horrifying? You be the judge. It's been ages since we came down to the precinct, huh, Nick? Looks like Gumshoe isn't around. More? Yeah, I think more makes sense. He's got it so easy, leaving everyone else to do the work. No, he's out there somewhere. My bet's on the courthouse. He's probably trying to arrange the retrial of this case. Guess that means we should go to the detention center and chat with our killer, huh? After being convicted without a fair trial, I'm not sure killer is the right label. We just did that, though. So, basically what it's actually saying is that we should go here and then go to Très Bien. Oh my. January 6th, Très Bien. Okay. Wow. Look at this place. Look. More like smell. What is with the suffocating scent of flowers in here? Then again, girls like that kind of thing, right? Actually, I'm not all that into it. No one's coming to see us. Maybe there's no one here. Don't be silly, Maya. This is a restaurant, and it's open for business. Hello? Anyone here? I don't believe it. There really isn't anyone here. Perfect. Let's get intrusive. If there's no one here, we can take anything we want. Yeah, I suppose we can. Yes, the legal system is based on whatever the defense attorney can swipe from the scene of the crime. Let's see. This must be the table where the murder occurred. I guess so, with all this police tape around it. And that stain must be from the poisoned coffee. Don't go licking the tablecloth, okay, Maya? Why would I lick it? I'm not a cat, you know? Then why can I picture you doing just that? Let's see, we got flowers. Wow, it's a beautiful winter wonderland out there. Really? Cool. I love snow. Let me see. Huh? It's not white. It's not even snowing. Gotcha. I was only kidding, Maya. Nick! There are lies that are okay to tell, and lies that definitely aren't. All I did was tell an itty-bitty white lie about non-existent white snow. Alright. Anything else worth looking at here? This restaurant has partitions that separate the tables. When you're seated at a table, you can only see the tables to your right or left. Yep. What about this table? This table's set nicely. It just needs a customer. What do you think this flower is, Nick? Let's see. Well, it doesn't look like a tulip, and it's not a sunflower, I don't think. Duh. Even I could have told you that. Well, those are the only kinds of flowers I know. Dagnabbit, I'm a lawyer, not a botanist. Alright, anything else? Not over here. Maybe we can look... What's this? It's a rack full of fashion magazines, and they're all in French. Why don't you try wearing something a bit more chic sometime, Maya? Yeah, I guess I could. I'm always in my acolyte clothes, aren't I? It'd be fun to wear normal clothes every now and then. There's something stuffed in behind the rack. Looks like a sports paper to me. Hey, and look at this. Someone scribbled a little doodle on one of the pages. MC Bomber and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros? $100,000? Maybe? I wonder what MC Bomber is supposed to be. Wait, this paper. It's from December 3rd. This paper is from the day of the poisoning. What? Okay. Sports paper. A paper from the day of the murder. This has got to be a clue. I should see if I can find out some more about this paper. Well, does that mean we should examine it? Hey, it's Mask to Mask. Now that's interesting, because so it says MC Bomber. To the right, there's $500,000 listed. And then below, we have a bomb, which makes sense, given the name. And then the MC Bomber has an arrow pointing to the $100,000. So is this some kind of negotiation, perhaps? I don't know. And then, of course, we have ah ha 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 and Mask to Mask, which seems to be a doodle. Okay. And what do we have here at the cash register? Look, it's one of those magical boxes that spits out money. You know, you're the only person who would ever describe the cash register in that way. Look at all the little trinkets tucked away in here. I bet Mr. Armstrong collected all these personally. Let's see, a bouquet of flowers, some potpourri, and look, fine bone china cups. I never knew you were so cultured. Come on, Maya, this is common knowledge. Any Joe Schmo knows this much. Very cultured, that's Phoenix. What about this? It's the restaurant's front entrance. There's a sign hanging on the door written in French. It probably says open or closed. It must be one or the other, but I don't know which since I don't know Jacques about French. I get it. I get it. You don't know Jacques about French. It's a rack full of fashion magazines, and they're all in French. Why don't you try wearing something a bit... Oh, we already... Yeah. We found that. Yep. Is that everything then? Well, we just came in and took a newspaper and we're gonna leave. Alright, is Gumshoe back yet? He's not. Okay. Oh, let's show Maggie this and maybe that'll... the MC Bomber thing. Oh, a sports paper. Let's see. Did Guts and Braun manage to defend his heavyweight title? Sorry, Maggie, that paper is actually a month old. It's from the day of the murder. And Gutson got knocked out yesterday, I'm afraid. Oh no. I found this paper in the magazine rack at Très Bien. Gutson, what was it? Yeah, Mega Man defeated him and took his power. Really? That's strange. Très Bien doesn't get newspapers. Mr. Armstrong says he's not really fond of them. I was reading a guide for a necromancer class in a game today. It included the line, if you have necro questions, we have necromancers. That's good. I love it. Then maybe one of the customers left it behind? Anyway, what I want you to look at is this scribble here. Aha! That's it, sir. MC Bomber. That was the name that was written on the CD. Just as I thought. I guess it was an MC Screwdriver after all, huh? So, that 100,000 must be a down payment for a record deal, right? If someone gave me $100,000, I'd sing for sure. The Master of Crime, or the Spirit Song, or even Maya's theme. Hey, stop breaking the fourth wall. Okay, Maya. So if the sample CD was on the victim's table, that means this newspaper may have belonged to the victim. You're right. So the victim left this behind in the day of the murder, huh? I think we better step up the investigation, don't you, Nick? Yes. Now, did that make Gumshoe show up? Nope. Did that make anyone show up here? It's maybe January 6th, Très Bien. Oh la la, bonjour, welcome to La Très Bien. Hello. What happened to Maya? She's frozen stiff. Bienvenue. Welcome to my petite restaurant. Huh? B Avenue? Oh no, my petite Julie. Yes. Me? Look at his face. Like the kitten rejected by his own mother. You are fatigued, no? Alors, you need this. An aromatic bath with a melange of La Nerori and La Rosé. My personal recommendation. You think I need what? Oui. Just add a couple of drops of this mixture to the bath water and voila! I will soothe your body and mind. It's simply fantastic. Really? And for le monsieur. Who? Me? Look at that face. Like the puppy rejected by life itself. You are fatigued, no? For you, monsieur, I recommend this. Oil of bergamot, and maybe a hint of... Oui. I will add le peppermint and le clary sage for a fragrance exceptional. Such an invigorating recipe will bring out your delicious beauty, monsieur. My beauty? Alors, if you will be seated, I will bring you the special menu of the day. Actually, we're not here to eat. We're lawyers. Ma bien ça. I know this already, monsieur. You are Le Phoenix Wright, no? Yes. You know me? My, oui. I'll never forget a man who flirts with me, especially in court. I guess he was cross-examined by our mysterious Zen Hope. It looks like everyone to do with this case knows who I am already. I wonder what sort of impression Zen Hope's been leaving on people, don't you? Allow me to introduce myself to you again. I am Jean Armstrong. Enchanté. All right. Buckle up. Here we go. Let's talk about Très Bien. So what does Très Bien mean? I know Très, that means three, right? No. Très Bien is France. In English, you would say very good. Oh, very good. Oui, exactamente. La atmosphere is très bien, and la cuisine is très bien. Yet the food's so good, why aren't there any customers in here? My cuisine is not for all. Some people, they do not appreciate the hot cuisine. I thought everyone liked hot cuisine. Since I've lost Maggie, I don't have enough ends. So you're running this place on your own now?
Oui, for le moment. No one has answered my advertisement. Oh, pour moi.
Please don't eyeball me while you say that.
I am le chef. I am le manager. I am also a trained aromatherapist.
A roaming what?
A practitioner de aromatherapy, the art of soothing la soul with the delicate floral aromas.
Delicate? The smell coming from that bottle earlier was anything but. All right, what happened? Let's talk about that. So could you tell me what you know about the incident?
Bien. It makes me sad to remember it, yet I remember it so well. More than a month has passed since it happened.
Yeah, I guess it's been about a month since Maggie's sentencing.
So, it was the 3rd of last month, just after 1 in the afternoon. A man who was in here for a coffee suddenly became ill.
Because of the poison in his coffee?
That is the truth as I know it. It was Maggie who took his drink to him. He was in the kitchen. I heard the sound of someone collapsing. When I came out to see what it was, he was already slumped in his chair.
He was dead?
Mon Dieu! Oui, he was dead! Maggie had passed out also.
And this man who died, was he alone?
Oui, monsieur. All alone. I know that Maggie said there was someone else, but...
I see.
La police, they asked me many times. Are you sure there was no one else at the table, they asked? But I am not the only one. The old man said the same thing.
Old man? What old man? Yeah, old man. So who's this old man that you mentioned?
At the time of the murder, there was another customer in here.
What? Someone else saw it?
Nah, we, as usual. He came alone that day. At the time of the murder, he was here. He saw it too. But he said the same thing, that there was no one else at the victim's table.
But Maggie swears there were 2 people.
Nah, mademoiselle, the lawyer could not prove this, no?
About the lawyer, that was me, I suppose?
Ma bien sûr!
Wow, he's the first person who said it wasn't me. Don't kid yourself, Nick. Now who's the one who's making stuff up? Okay. Can we talk about the sports paper? We found this sports paper in the magazine rack here.
One of my customers must have left it behind.
Do you have any idea which customer it was?
The only ideas I have, mademoiselle, I saved from my kitchen.
Okay. Magazine clipping.
I am not a lawyer myself. I do not wish to speak out of turn, but your defense in court that day was a little, how you say, lacking, perhaps. Even a Frenchman who cannot speak any English could have done a better job. You were very cool, though. Oh, oui, so handsome.
Wow, I wonder just how bad the defense could have been.
Every time you open your mouth, your courthouse stirred.
Oh man, that's something I don't want to imagine. All right. I think we got everything out of you that's possible. Detention center. Now is Gumshoe back? He's still not back. Maybe we can talk to Maggie about her boss. Oh, so you met the owner? Mr. Armstrong. He's, how can I put this? Pretty unique, huh? He has a really intense aura as a chef and as a person. Yeah, he has a pretty intense aroma, too. So did Mr. Armstrong really not see the killer? Apparently not. Well, he's in the kitchen all the time, so I guess it's possible that he didn't. Okay. Maybe we can ask him about Maggie, too.
Maggie was a policewoman once, n'est-ce pas?
Yes, but she had to quit for reasons beyond her control.
Oui, she was the suspect in the murder investigation, no?
Oh, you know about that?
That is why I gave her la perfume for the happiness.
Happiness perfume?
Oui, blended from bergamot, like I have given to you before.
But she's been arrested again, and found guilty this time.
This is true. A natural aroma of unhappiness must have been very strong.
Just admit it. Your perfume doesn't work.
I am not surprised she was the prime suspect. After something like that took place before my very eyes.
Something like what? What's this guy talking about? Does this mean Maggie did have a motive?
We've got to ask this guy for more info. Stat. Yeah. What's up? Maggie's motive. When Maggie took the coffee over to the victim, did anything happen? I suppose you could say so.
So what happened?
No, it was nothing.
Look, Maggie says she didn't even know the guy. But she's still been indicted for murder. The prosecution must have come up with some kind of motive.
Wait, it is true.
If there was anything at all between Maggie and the victim, it could be relevant.
Yeah, it's me. Hello.
So please, tell us anything you know.
Uh-oh.
Cyclops? No way. What are we gonna do, Nick?
We'll just have to remove... What the...
What's wrong?
The Magatama. It's gone.
Huh? I had it in my pocket, but it's vanished into thin air.
What?
But I could see the Cyclops. Maybe that means the Magatama's nearby?
Mr. Armstrong, could I just confirm something with you again? The table where the victim was sitting. Was anyone else sitting there?
That is a question you have to ask him yourselves.
Huh?
Him? The old man spends all of his time down at Le Parc.
Le Parc? Oh, a park? What park's that?
Behind the restaurant. It is called Vitamin Square.
Thank you.
Je vous en prie, my dear.
Let's go check out this Vitamin Square right now, Nick. Yeah, but where's the Magatama? Who stole it? It's my secret weapon for figuring out people are lying. That I'm a good enough sport to never actually use in actual court cases. Vitamin Square. Let's go. Huh. What is this? January 6th. Vitamin Square.
So this is Vitamin Square.
Yeah, I see where they got the name from now. The fruits scream vitamins at you.
Hey, Nick.
That's the guy, right? Isn't that the old man Mr. Armstrong was talking about? That grouchy-looking grandpa?
He's throwing seeds out for the pigeons.
Maya, he's not throwing seeds for them. He's throwing seeds at them. My grumpiness threat level has just been raised to red. Who is this guy? Alright, let's see. What you saw? He's wearing a very standard California attire, too, I see. Excuse me. Would you mind if I had a word with you?
Yes.
I just want to ask you a couple of questions.
What's the matter with you? Can't you see I'm busy? So you don't like my seeds, eh, pigeons?
He's really chucking those seeds at them. That's gotta hurt.
Go on, eat this.
Maggie Bird. Excuse me, sir. Can I ask you about Maggie Bird?
I don't know any Maggie Bird.
Yes, you do. Maggie, the waitress at Très Bien.
Yeah, it's a disgrace, I tell you. An utter disgrace.
A disgrace?
An innocent young girl revealing herself like that?
Revealing? You mean her uniform?
The youth of today, they don't have any shame. No shame, I tell you, not 1 ounce. Whatever happened to the old Bushido values of Japan, like honor and modesty?
What about me? I'm not wearing anything revealing.
You? Your problem is you lack any sense of grace.
Talk about hitting a girl where it hurts. Très Bien. Do you go to Très Bien a lot?
That miserable excuse for a restaurant. That garbage they serve in there is not food. Where's the sushi, the tempura, the rice?
Très Bien is a French restaurant, sir.
Where do you think we are, boy? In Paris? I want real food, not these snooty snacks.
Yes, traditional California food.
What about those shameless girls?
You mean the waitresses?
You can see all the way up to yes, the waitresses. They're practically naked. It's a disgrace, isn't it? Well, isn't it?
Listen, it's not my restaurant.
Yeah, it's a miserable excuse for a restaurant, that place. Miserable!
He certainly knows the place. He must be a regular. But if he hates it so much, why does he keep going? Yeah, what about being a regular? Are you a regular at that restaurant, sir? It's just, if you dislike it so much, why would you keep going there? Oh, Maya. You should never get on the internet. Sir?
There you are, you filthy pigeons! You want food, huh? Ha! Take that!
He must be hiding something, right? If he is, I should be able to see a cyclock or two. Oh, wait. I don't exactly have the Magatama right now, huh? Remember, Nick, that Magatama is only on loan. He'd better find it, or else. If Pearls ever gets wind of this, I'm gonna be in a world of pain. Okay. Is there anything we can present him, like the sports paper? Excuse me, sir, could I ask you about this? Sir?
Here you go, boy. How about some pigeon feed sound to you?
This wasn't exactly what I was hoping to get out of this guy. All right, let's talk about Maggie. No, he doesn't have anything. What about Armstrong? Nothing to say about him. Okay. Well, we can go back to the restaurant, I guess. I can present. Oh, wait, we don't even have his profile yet. Interesting. So there's nothing to say to Maggie. Only other thought I have is if Gumshoe's back yet. Which he's not. He's still out. Can we look at the blue badgers back here? Hey, that's the police mascot, isn't it? It's so cute.
That's the blue badger. It was my idea. I made it. And now it's the national symbol of the police force.
So what's with the pink one? It's new, right? She's not an it, Nick. She's a she. Right, Chief?
Yep. Meet the pink badger.
So one's called Blue and the other's called Pink, but they're both called Badger?
You got it. They're married.
Mr. and Mrs. Badger seem to be cuffed together, Chief.
You got it. That's marriage for you. Whoa.
A mascot that's deeper than the deepest of deep oceans. Yep. Very deep. Very, very deep. Well, the only thing I can think of is to go back to the park and maybe look around. What's this? There's a magazine. Oh, there's a magazine here. It's a magazine full of job listings. It says job listings, so it is as advertised.
You disgusting rogue! Picking up something someone else threw away.
Threw away? Did you throw this away? Are you looking for a job?
Gah! That's none of your business.
Sorry, I guess I'll just take the magazine with me then.
I don't want anyone else having it. Give it back.
Too bad. Now that you want it so bad, I don't want to give it up. Job listings added to the court record.
Hey, that's mine.
Too bad. Now let's look at it. Picked up from a bench in Vitamin Square, thrown away by the old man. Can we present it to him? Nope. Is there anything else worth looking at here? I don't think so. There's pigeons. Hey, look, pigeons. Yeah, and heaps of them too. Did you know that pigeons are a symbol of peace? That's a dove, not a pigeon. Poor things. So they can't be symbols of peace and harmony just because they're gray? Is that it? You're overthinking this one by just a smidge, Maya. Yes. This place is so fruity. That's not a bad thing. Besides, I love apples. They're among my favorites. Not as fruity as Trebian, though. Then that apple slide is perfect for you. And what is so perfect about it? Oh, come on. Don't be a stick in the mud. Slide down it a few times. Go on. Woo! No way. I get covered in sand if I slid down that slide. Anyone can see that. Yeah, you're right. Otherwise, I'd give it a try, too. What about this? I used to love sandboxes like you wouldn't believe. Really? You? Sure. Finding iron filings in the sand with a magnet was my favorite thing to do. Iron... what? That's too exciting for words. It was my ambition to collect every single shred of iron in the sandbox. It was such a kid back then. So, did you manage to get all the iron? No, I never did. I think I came close, though. Come to think of it, I still have all the iron I found way back when. You want them? No. Alright. Oh, what about this? Looking at this orange reminds me of what? That you're supposed to eat a lot of them to ward off colds in the winter. You can't have fun during the holidays if you're sick and bad, you know. You don't have to tell me twice. Yep, makes sense. Alright, so there's nothing else we can talk to him about yet. What about this one? No? Has nothing to... What about a badge? Would that help? No. Nope, guy doesn't want to talk. You want to talk about my dead friend? No? Okay. Mr. Gumshoe? No? Okay. Well, that won't work. So, and then Maggie... This is, yeah, the Cyclops hit, but we can't actually present the Magatama. Yeah. So, why is he hiding things from me? And another thing, where did I drop the Magatama? The fact that I can see the lock must mean it's nearby. I only loaned it to you, you know, so you better find it, Nick, okay? And here I thought it was mine to keep. Okay, is it literally on screen? Like, can we look around for it? Because I'm not seeing it anywhere. Though I do notice this is now not checked again. Fashion. We found that. Yeah. Nope. Interesting. Yeah, there's nothing here to actually look at, as far as I can tell. And we've already presented all the profiles, except for him. Let's talk about yourself. It is hard to imagine, I know, but I was an apprentice for 5 years in Le Gay Paris. Wow, in Paris? It was something the chef there said to me that made me decide to open my own restaurant. What was it? That awful man said to me, you must train for another 10 years. Oh, it was such a shock. So unexpected. But you would have to be a fool to do this, no? Yes, of course. Well, we've kind of hit a dead end here. I'm not entirely sure what it wants to do next. You know, let's see. We've presented all the profiles. The only thing I haven't presented is the job listings. Mademoiselle? Yes? Are you looking for the job? What? No, I was just... Let me see. Your style is un peu different, but you have a good face. Different? Felicitations, you have passed. I will hire you. Bien, come with me. I will teach you everything I know. Nick, help! I don't know whether to laugh or feel bad for Maya. Maybe I should do both. Well, that did it. Okay. Well, Maya just got kidnapped again. I guess we go somewhere else. There's nothing new here. Detention center. Oh, January 6th. Detention center. Visitors room. Looks like they have Maggie in questioning. I guess I've asked her pretty much everything. I'll come back if there's anything else I need to ask her later. Okay. Is Gumshoe back yet? Oh, we have an update. The police station, Criminal Affairs Department.
Well, pal, have you found the evidence yet? The one that's gonna find they're innocent?
No, not yet. We've only just started our investigation.
Well, whatever you need to know, I'll give you the dirt on it. I'm putting off all my other cases for now, pal.
Gumshoe's really fired up about this.
Oh, yeah, one more thing. The retrial has been approved. Court sitting at 10 a.m. tomorrow. And Godot's gonna be the prosecutor.
Oh, him.
Now, listen up, pal. If Maggie's found guilty again,
yes?
I'll make sure you get locked up good for it. Got it?
Okay. Let's talk about Maggie Bird. So the guilty party was Maggie Bird, huh?
Yeah.
Back when she was on the police force, you were her mentor when she was a rookie, right?
Yeah, I kept a close eye on her. I mean, not too close, you know. Hey, what's with the funny looks, pal? I was just her, it wasn't anything like, look, sure, I was her boss when she was doing her training, but that was it. Nothing happened.
Gumshoe sure is sweating up a storm over nothing. Ah, so that's it. Our big old Gumshoe has a little old crush on Maggie.
I don't like her or anything. I was,
Note to self. Gossip with Maya about this later.
Look, pal, don't tell anyone, okay? You gotta keep it a secret, got it?
Sure. Would you mind not guessing what I'm thinking all the time?
Hey, tell your face, pal. Not me. You'd have to be blind not to see what's on your mind.
I don't know. The judge seems to be pretty bad at it. But that is the judge, after all. All right, let's ask about the victim. So I was wondering, could you fill me in on the victim?
Glenn Elg. He was a computer programmer.
Glenn Elg? What's that a pun for? I'm not getting it. I see. A programmer.
He was just a regular Joe working for a small-time computer firm. Maggie never had any contact with the guy before that day. And all she did was take him his coffee on the day of the murder, pal.
Yeah. Maggie also claimed to have never seen the guy before. Did the victim go to the restaurant often?
Not according to the chef. Said it was the first time he'd seen the guy.
A programmer, and a first-time customer at that. What possible reason could Maggie have had to kill a guy like that?
That's what I thought. But a motive was still somehow established in their trial.
You're kidding. What was her supposed motive?
Sorry, pal. I'm real busy. I haven't even got enough time to sift through these papers. Look into it yourself, okay?
What could this motive have been? The investigation. Let's talk about that.
This isn't really a proper investigation. I'm kind of working on it by myself.
Oh, that's right.
The judge already ruled on the case, and all the evidence is in already. The only problem is with Maggie's testimony.
Yeah, doesn't sound very good for us, huh?
Look, pal, I've got a mountain of papers on this case to look over before tomorrow. So I'm just gonna say this. Maggie Bird's no liar. She's okay, she's a bit out there, and a bit off base sometimes. But she was the good cop.
That's not exactly complimentary, you know? So what do you think really happened? And just how contradictory is her testimony? Yeah, let's talk about the contradictions.
The biggest problem with Maggie's testimony is the number of people at the table.
Yeah, my thoughts exactly. Maggie still insists there was another guy sitting with the victim.
Right, but get this. Everyone else in the place says the guy was alone, even the chef. And then there's that CD.
CD? Oh, yeah. She did mention something about a CD. Yeah, sample CD on the table, right.
But our guys turned that place upside down. There was no CD.
What?
Not on the table, not anywhere in the whole restaurant, pal.
But didn't Maggie say the victim was wearing an earpiece too?
Yeah, but that was for the portable radio in the front pocket of his hoodie.
A radio? He didn't have a CD player?
You got it. Your phony never explained that contradiction at all.
Come to think of it, the owner of Trabian didn't mention that CD either. I don't know why, but I get the feeling Mr. Armstrong has got something to hide. Maybe it's all the slank locks. Let's talk about Armstrong. Let's present him.
The chef of Trabian, huh? You know what that chef said to me? Oh la la, your body is full of toxins. And then he gave me this bottle.
What's in it?
I don't know. The label says juniper. I'm under orders to put a few drops of it in my bath every day.
Under orders?
Yeah, you know, there's something about that guy.
Huh? You can't stop thinking about him?
Not like that, pal! Give me a break! He is not my type. I can't stop thinking that he's involved with this case somehow.
Sounds like he knows a little something more about our charming chef. Alright, we got Glenn L. gadded. That's good. Talk about Maggie. Have you gone to see Maggie?
Of course I have! But I wasn't much good at consoling her. I'm not very good with words.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess I must have looked a bit down. Maggie was really supportive of me. It was great to have someone to talk to.
Did he go for her or for him? Yeah. Let's talk about you, Detective Gumshoe.
I'm such a loser. I had high hopes for Maggie. I was gonna make her the best detective there ever was. But then all of a sudden she was charged with murder and arrested. I never saw it coming. I never imagined they'd find her guilty. I hate myself for not being able to do anything.
It's okay, Detective Gumshoe. We still have a chance to make this right.
You know what? You're not such a bad guy after all, pal.
Well, yeah, I think you'd have figured that out by now. Same team, Gumshoe, same team. Godot, let's talk about him.
That's the guy who's gonna be the prosecutor at Maggie's retrial tomorrow.
Oh, really?
He was working on a bunch of more important cases at the moment, but he canceled them all just so he could take you on, pal.
Why is that guy so determined to see me fail?
You sure attract a lot of attention, huh? Too bad it's all the wrong kind.
Yeah. Glenn L. Let's talk about him. No, I didn't. Wait, okay, that's not. Maya.
Hey, so how come she's not with you today?
She's working down at the restaurant right now.
Working, huh? Yeah, it's tough being broke. I would know.
Okay.
Next time I see her, I'll show her how to make the world's best instant noodles. We low earners have to stick together. It's the only way.
Why is he shaking my hand with such enthusiasm? Yeah. Is Phoenix a low earner? Alright, we'll talk about the charming chef. So what exactly is it that caught your attention about the chef at Trabian?
It's, kinda hard to say. The guy's probably not even connected with the case anyway.
Hey, come on, detective. Didn't you say you'd give me the dirt on anything?
Well, this sort of stuff is kinda unimportant. Gossipy stuff, you know, pal? Look, how about this? You go to Trabian and investigate the place yourself. And if you find out anything suspicious about the guy, you report back to me, okay?
Don't suppose I get a choice in this, huh? Guess I better find out more about the chef in Trabian, then report back to Gumshoe. Okay. Well, can I present this, sports paper I found?
What's that? A sports paper?
Yeah. I found it in the magazine rack at Trabian.
It's dated the same day as the murder. You may be onto something here.
And take a look at this. See this writing here?
MC Bomber. Hey!
What is it?
I've heard that name somewhere before. Yeah! MC Bomber!
Wow, he actually seems to be thinking for once.
Dak, it's no good. I can't remember.
And he goes back to being the Gumshoe we all know and love.
Hey, pal, I'm gonna borrow this paper for a bit, okay? I want to get a handwriting analysis done on this scribble.
Handwriting, huh? It'd be good to know more about that in any case.
Thanks, pal. I bet this will turn out to be an interesting clue.
Sports paper given to Detective Gumshoe. Don't lose it, though. Job listings. Anything about that? No, he doesn't do anything. Yeah. All right, Gumshoe. It's a new day. It's a new case. Look at my attorney's badge.
Is that thing real, pal?
Why does everyone keep asking me that?
I wonder what this phony of yours is like.
He had Maggie found guilty of murder. Doesn't that tell you? I've got to track this creep down. Okay. Let's go back to Très Bien. Hey, January 6th, Très Bien. The scent of flowers sure is strong. It's almost making me dizzy. Oh, hello. Who was that just now? Customer? She had sort of a dark aura about her. Ah, welcome, B Avenue. Wow, what a cute voice. Oh, it's just you, Nick. Maya? Well, how do I look? Maybe you should quit being a spirit medium. Maybe, but it's kind of boring being a waitress. I mean, you're my first ever customer. Then who was that woman I just saw? Oh, since you're here, you might as well have something to eat. I am kind of hungry, actually. Let's talk, waitress. So, how do you like your new job, Maya? I never knew there was so much for a waitress to do. Take people's orders, bring them their food, make coffee, work the cash register. Of course, we need a customer before I can do any of that. Yeah, it's a nice looking restaurant. It's a shame more people don't come. Don't forget about the ultra cute waitress. Check out my gimme a tip smile. Okay, and then the lunch special. Hey Nick, why don't you order something? The chef's preparing a tasty lunch set at the moment. So he says. How much is it? It's the twin tea set, so it's $20, of course. The twin tea set? I believe I'll be taking a pass on that. It's kind of expensive. What? Well, you can't. Come on, Nick. It's not every day I get to be a waitress. I want to try carrying plates and working the cash register. How about cleaning the toilets? That should keep you busy. Yeah, right. Maybe later. About the lunch. Oh, a fine choice, sir. No, Kitchen, lunch special, please. With all the extras, drink, side salad, dessert, and gift. I don't need any of that. Just a moment, please, sir. Maya's really getting into this. So how much is this set lunch then? $20, huh? But with the drink, side salad, and dessert, it's $45. Hey, wait a sec, Maya. Sorry to keep you waiting, sir. Here you are, our deluxe Fortify lunch set. Whoa. A dish inspired by lobster and abalone fricassee with a balsamic vinaigrette. Bon appetit! Thanks? Come on, Nick. Hurry up and try it already. Lobster, huh? Alright, down the hatch it goes. Well, are you hungry, Maya? I'm starving. Here, cheers. Really? Remember, Maya, my wallet doesn't print money, so you'd better polish off that plate. I just remembered, I've got to clean the toilets. Hey! You can't be in that much of a hurry to clean the toilets. Alright, Très Bien lunch special costs $20 despite how unbelievably bad it tastes. How does that guy manage to make good food taste so bad? Hey, Nick. You want to take a peek at the kitchen? The kitchen, huh? Well, not a bad idea. Now what was it that Maggie said again? In the kitchen, you'll get to see all the chef's greatest secrets? In the kitchen? That sounds tasty. Hey, wait up. Maya. What is it? I'm pretty busy right now. Weren't you going to show me around? There goes my plan to find some cool clue and show it off in your face. I better conduct the search in the kitchen myself. Okay? We can move to the kitchen. Let's go. I remember when $20 for a meal was expensive. Yep. In 2006 or so when this was released. Yes. January 6th, Très Bien kitchen. Though technically this is supposed to take place in, I think, the year 2017 or 2018. Which, even then, yeah. Fun times we're having. And here it is, the famous Très Bien kitchen. It's my first time in here too, actually. There's a weird atmosphere in here, that's for sure. Mr. Armstrong will be back soon, so we better search quickly. Chop, chop! All right. There's a giant bottle of aromatherapy things, I see. What's this? Looks like a treasure chest or something. Wow, look at all these little bottles. Oh, they're aromatherapy oils. He's got so many, they're overflowing onto the floor. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 99, 98, 100. They're all the same, too. Hey, wait a minute. What is it? There's one bottle that's different from all the others. Well, what do you know? And it doesn't have a label either. And it doesn't smell. So what's that liquid inside then, I wonder? Hey, Nick, we should borrow this. I mean, look how many bottles he's got. He won't miss one, will he? Small bottle, found in the kitchen. Shape is different from the other bottles. Contents unknown. Interesting. Okay. Now this is one large mirror. I bet this is where he makes himself look pretty. There's a book on the dresser. Clarice Armstrong's Bedtime Literature. Not exactly Pulitzer Prize material, is it? It looks like a collection of poems he's written. Poems? Cool. Read one out. And say it in your best French accent, with intensity, okay? Okay, here's one. It's called Printemps. The two of them, like actors from a film, the coffee still undrunk, sweet nothings over too soon on that sad Sunday morning, the foolish cocktail so delicious. Take the last sip of your tea, and I know what I will do. I must lie to you. I must. Huh? That's it? Yep. That's a poem for you. Yep. Got it. Knives. Now I know I'm in a French restaurant. I've never heard of most of these seasonings. Hey, Nick, this container has oyster sauce? What's that? Isn't that used in Chinese food? Ah, look! Right there on the counter. My Magatama, what's it doing there? What indeed? The Magatama has been recovered. Okay. I didn't even notice it there. Now I know I'm in a French restaurant. Oh, yeah. Chinese cheesecake. You don't exactly need a sharp knife for one of those, Nick. Okay. What about this? That smells good. Something's bubbling away nicely in that pot. It must be the lobster and abalone fricassee with a balsamic vinaigrette. Isn't that what I just ate for lunch? Maybe. What you ate is the only French dish I know the name of. What about this? What are these lace curtains for? I don't know, but they give the place a real homey feel, don't they? Lace curtains. You know, if I was a cooking pot, I'd be perfectly happy to sit on a shelf under those. How do you respond to something like that? Alright, but we do have something to maybe give to Gumshoe to analyze. Let's get out of here. Yeah, I'm gonna try to go to Gumshoe and give this to him. Criminal Affairs. Is he here? January 6th, Police Station, Criminal Affairs Department.
Hey, you're just in time.
What is it, Detective Gumshoe?
The lab got back to me about that newspaper you gave me.
You must mean the sports paper with the memo scribbled on it. So, what did they say? Did the analysis turn up anything?
They said the doodle was written by the victim, Glenn Elg. No doubt about it.
I expected as much.
The victim took the paper with him to the restaurant on the day of the murder. That's our best interpretation of the facts at the moment.
All right, left by the victim. Cool.
MC Bomber. I get the feeling I've heard that name somewhere before. Oh, well, I guess it'll come back to me. Don't forget to report back to me with whatever you find in the restaurant, okay, pal?
Since when did I start taking orders from Gumshoe? Although, I get the feeling there's something I need to show him. I wonder what that might be. The Magatama, right? Nah, it's a small bottle.
You got one of those aroma bottles too, huh?
Only this one doesn't smell.
Huh? I don't get you.
This was mixed in with all the other aromatherapy bottles, but it's not the same. It doesn't even look the same. Wouldn't you agree?
A cologne bottle that doesn't smell, huh? Smells like a skunk to me, pal.
Mind letting me borrow that bottle for a while? I want to send it to the lab for analysis. The victim was poisoned, so the contents of this bottle are pretty important. A small bottle given to Detective Gumshoe.
I had a hunch there was something funny about that chef.
You suspect John Armstrong?
I've got that guy's number. I know what his secret is.
That must be the same secret Gumshoe was talking about before.
I guess I better fill you in on the details. About this Armstrong guy's secret, I mean.
Yeah? Let's talk. So what's Mr. Armstrong's secret?
You ever had lunch at Très Bien, pal?
Yes.
So, how was it?
To put it nicely, it was inedible.
Hey, don't worry about being nice around me, pal. You and I both know the reason that place is so empty is because of the food. I mean, the place is clean, and he's got a girl like Maggie as a waitress, so,
yeah, I guess it's probably the food.
The real scoop on the guy is he's up to his ears in debt.
Really? How much does he owe?
This is a copy of his loan contract. He's about $500,000 in the red.
$1 million? Are we talking dollars?
Yeah, hey, if it was sterling, he'd be in real trouble.
Sorry, that figure just took me by surprise.
Yeah, this case is full of surprises. And I'd be willing to bet that chef's got something to do with most of them. That's my hunch.
All right, John's loan contract, $500,000. The owner of the loan is Tender Lender. Interesting. That's good to know. Can we talk about the lunch special together? No. That's all. No. But that's good to know. Let's see. Let's go back to the restaurant. Let's see if we can talk to Maya about it. Sorry, Nick. I'm a waitress now. I've got a pile of work waiting for little old me. Okay. Well, I don't think we can actually talk to Mr. Armstrong yet. Can we go to the square? Oh, there's an update. Hey! January 6th, Vitamin Square. The old guy's not here anymore. Drat. And I still have some unanswered questions for him. What is this? A scooter, huh? Would leave it right in the middle of a park like this. The wheel guard and the light are busted. I guess it must have been in an accident. It's totally wrecked. What in the... Oh my.
Hey, what do you think you're doing with my bike?
No, I was just...
You've been messing with my new ride? Is that what you've been doing?
New ride?
Is that... You's gonna pay for this.
It wasn't me. We're just passing by.
Hey, then who's that? Who's covered my saddle in crap, huh? You's gonna pay. You catch my drift?
No, wait a sec. I'm not a pigeon, so I couldn't have done it.
A wise guy, eh? I gotta beat you so hard it'll feel like you was smooching the express train.
Uh-oh.
You's better watch your back. This ain't over. I'm gonna round up a group of lawyers, and then you's gonna pay.
Actually, I'm a lawyer myself.
What'd you say?
I'm Phoenix Wright, attorney at law.
Phoenix Wright? You're saying you, Phoenix Wright?
Yeah, I am.
So you a wise guy too, huh? 'Cause I'm Phoenix Wright, the one and only.
What?
Out of my way. I got a cruise.
He's gone. Surely that guy wasn't my phony. Was he? He wasn't anything like me. Guess I better make a note of that scooter. Ridden by my phony. The wheel guard is all smashed up.
Pathetic.
Oh, it's you.
A few threats from an old brat like that, and you look like a pigeon that's got seeds in its eyes.
Have you been here the whole time, then?
I was in that strawberry. I had some thinking to do.
Well, like you had some cowering to do. All right, Trebian regular. Are you a regular at that restaurant, sir? It's just that if you dislike it so much, why would you keep going there? Sir?
There you are, you filthy pigeons. You want food? Haha, take that.
Aha, now we got it. I knew it. This old guy has got something to hide. But what could it be? Magatama time. Trebian regular. It's time you told me the truth. Why are you a regular at a restaurant that you dislike so much?
Isn't it obvious? People only have one reason to go to restaurants. To eat.
To eat? Is that the whole truth?
Or what do you mean?
I don't think you go to that restaurant for the food at all.
You insolent brat! How dare you accuse me? What proof have you got?
I can tell that not you nor anyone else in the world would go to that place for its food. The lunch special. The proof is in the pudding. Or in this case, the lunch menu.
That's the twin tea set.
The food at Trebian is terrible. And expensive.
You're wrong. It's cheap.
Huh?
I'm rich. I inherited money when I was a boy. Yes, I'm stinking rich.
I haven't done a
jot of work since I was born, other than feeding pigeons.
What a load of crock.
The taste's another story, but the price, it's nothing to me.
So, you're saying that you go there because you've got money to burn?
Exactly. I have so much cash, I go for a swim in my money vault every day.
Unfortunately, that's a lie.
What?
You don't have money to burn. You're flat broke. Wait. How do we prove that? Oh, wait. Yeah, that was the job listings was his book. He was trying to find a job. This is yours, right?
My magazine!
Why would a rich retiree be looking for a job?
I was... so what?
Good.
So I was looking for a job. I'm buying a lot at the moment. I need spending money.
Oh?
I don't go to that restaurant for food. I just go for the Javicino.
Yeah, I think you mean a cappuccino. Anyway, how much does a cappuccino cost there?
$8.
Those had better be some golden beans. That's like a regular coffee at Starbucks nowadays.
What's your problem? You think a poor man would be better off drinking dishwater, do you? Is that it?
No, I wasn't thinking that. I was wondering if the coffee there is really that great.
No, it's not, but anyway, yes, that place has free newspapers to read every day.
Newspapers?
Exactly. They don't want me hanging around at home, so I go there.
I'm sorry, sir, but there are no free papers to read at Trebian. Is this the magazine? Sports paper. Yeah. Take a look at this.
What is it?
It's a newspaper I found behind the magazine rack at Trebian.
So, what of it?
This was the only paper there, and it's dated more than 1 month ago.
What?
Do you see what I'm getting at here? That restaurant doesn't get newspapers. This is just one that a customer happened to leave behind.
No!
Tell me, why are you so determined to hide the truth?
I'm not hiding anything.
I'm gonna have to put this guy out of his misery. Listen, the real reason why you go so much to Trebian is... It's Maggie, right?
What are you asking me about that girl for?
She was the waitress at Trebian. Therefore, the answer to that mystery of why an old man would drink expensive coffee at a terrible restaurant is the waitress.
Yeah, but I don't recognize that face.
And you're probably telling the truth here. Because you weren't looking at the girl's face, but at her outfit.
Ugh!
That's the truth, isn't it? You became a regular at the restaurant because of the waitress uniform. That uniform is all you can think about, isn't it?
I can't take it.
To you, that waitress was your...
Enough! Please! No more! Stop saying that word! Stop saying waitress! Stop it, stop it, stop it!
I see. Time to get the truth out of you, you weird old man. Sir?
Yes, it's true, I was there for the girl. Fine, so I am a dirty, wicked, sinful old devil.
No, I didn't mean it like that.
I even get one of those lousy cups of Giavatino every time for $8. All because of the serving girl. Lock me up.
Really, that's not what I'm here for.
You'll be the same. Another 20 years and you'll understand what it's like. You'll know how painful it is to be an old man like me.
No, really. Listen, sir.
Stop calling me that. I have a name, you know, boy. So show me some respect, huh? I'm Victor Kudo.
Sorry, Mr. Kudo.
You young ones think you know it all, don't you? Well, I'm not saying another word. I won't tell you anything more.
This guy was in the restaurant at the time of the incident, which means I have to hear his testimony, one way or another. I don't believe this. I even broke his psych locks and everything. I guess I have to try to get him when he's in a better mood. Okay, well, we did that at least. Is, Armstrong around yet? We can talk to him. Oh! I just realized something. Oh, it's that old man. Is he still feeding the pigeons? Yeah, he fed me as well. I got a bunch of those seeds in my eyes. Oh, ouch. Hey, Maya, would you mind coming with me for a while? Huh? Me? Why? There's something I really want to ask that old man. Sure, okay. I'll just get changed. No. Hang on. Can you, go like that? I guess? Sir?
You again?
Huh?
Well.
I see. Nick? His eyes are burning into me. It's okay. I think it's going pretty well. Huh?
You're still just a little child. Run along and play on the slide, all right?
Play on the slide? We were so close. Just a little more and he would have spilled.
Pigeons.
How can we crack this guy? Excuse me, please, sir.
Quiet! Can't you see I'm feeding the pigeons?
Mia?
Whoa!
If you don't mind, sir, I'd really love to talk with you.
Yes. Of course. Well, certainly. I'm Victor Kudo.
Even from beyond the grave. Wow. All right, let's talk. About the incident.
You mean the man who died after drinking the Giavatino?
It's like he's a different person.
It was quite a shock, even for me. He was a strange-looking boy. The girl took the Giavatino over to him, you see?
And was the customer alone?
Definitely. He was the only person at the table.
Then he took one sip of his Giavatino
and he said something like, ugh, and then collapsed, dead.
Oh, how terrifying.
You're so good at listening, aren't you?
I'll tell you anything, whatever you want to know. He certainly seems to be telling the truth now. But it looks like Mr. Kudo didn't see this other man either. Right, Très bien, let's talk about that. Yep, Mia to the rescue, but in a different way than usual. Do you like the food at Très bien?
Well, of course. I'm really quite a sophisticated man. I was a young businessman once, you know. I set up a casino in London.
Really? How interesting.
Eating the food at that restaurant really takes me back to my days in France.
What a lovely story. London's in England, not France.
Oh yes, France is wonderful. I'd love to show you around the city sometime. It's too much. I can't take it. I want France.
I can't believe Mia's laughing at the guy. All right, Trebian, regular. You visit Trebian a lot, don't you?
Of course. I mean, yes. I'd like to come and see you there.
Really? Oh, you flatter me so. The owner would be delighted to welcome you, I'm sure.
Be careful of that chef, my dear.
The chef? You mean Mr. Armstrong?
That's right. The man's an ex-con.
He's an ex-con? Armstrong's record. Whatever did Mr. Armstrong do?
Oh no, those eyes, I can't take this.
Mia's really got this guy eating out of her hand.
He steals things from his customers.
From his customers?
Gloves, handkerchiefs, little things mainly. He's a pilferer, so be careful around him, my dear.
Are you sure about this?
Of course, he was arrested for it once. I was there when it happened, having my cappuccino.
He really is a regular.
Let me write you a little haiku about it.
A haiku?
A Japanese poem. It'll explain all you need to know about that chef.
Convicted before a wicked man or woman, repeat offender. Okay. Victor Kudo.
If it takes anything again, you let me know. If it's not too expensive, I'll buy you a replacement.
Poor guy. He couldn't do enough for Mia. Okay, Phoenix. That's about as much as I can do to help. Thanks, Mia. We got some really important information thanks to you. Honestly, I can't believe Maya called me for something like this. That is great. Okay, back to Trebian. January 6th. Trebian. I guess it's about time to wrap up today's investigation. Had enough of being a waitress? Yeah. Plus, no one came to the restaurant.
Oh la la, Mademoiselle Maya, no! How could you leave me like this?
I'm sorry. That reminds me. Mr. Armstrong had a psych lock or 3, didn't he? I'm gonna have to break those. Mr. Armstrong, I hope you won't mind, but I'd like to have another word with you.
Voltaire, of course!
Okay. Maggie's motive. Magatama. Here we go.
What is happening? I don't like this horrible feeling.
I have to know the truth. What happened that day?
Hello, I will confess everything. Just don't hurt me.
Huh? Well, that was a new world record.
It was a lottery ticket.
A lottery ticket?
The man who died there had the lottery ticket. For $500,000.
$500,000?
Oui, but after the incident, this ticket... it disappeared.
The ticket disappeared?
This was the motive that the prosecution gave for Maggie. They said she had poisoned the man to get the $500,000 lottery ticket.
Why didn't you tell me about this sooner?
My lord.
You've been trying to hide this information about the lottery ticket from me, and I want to know the reason why.
No, monsieur, you doubt me, but I have confessed to you everything I know.
Mr. Armstrong, the $500,000 lottery ticket. I think I know who took it. I think the winning ticket was stolen by this person. It was you. You stole it. Mr. Armstrong, I believe there's a very high probability that it was you.
Oh!
Wow, that's one piercing scream, even for a man like him.
Mais pourquoi moi? Why? You have no evidence.
I am not.
Mask the mask. I'm not the kind of person who steals the property of others.
Sorry to disappoint you, Mr. Armstrong, but I have evidence to the contrary. I present to you proof that you've stolen from others in the past. The Magatama? Yeah. Right?
But perhaps duck would be nice. A terrain, maybe?
Sorry?
I was just thinking about my lunch menu.
Terrain de canard. What do you think? That sounds lovely. Alors, au revoir, monsieur. I must go to buy the ingredients. I guess my evidence is a bit of a lame duck here. Ah. Okay. The haiku. Yeah. The haiku. What is this? A poem? Oh, monsieur, you know me so well. I adore poems. Please read it and put some feeling into it. Convicted before, a wicked man, a woman, repeat offender. I'm sorry to have to bring it up, Mr. Armstrong, but you have been arrested for stealing from your customers before, haven't you? Mon Dieu! Le mensonge! You are a liar! You deny it? Do not make false accusations, s'il vous plaît. So, do you have any proof? I want to see the incontestable proof that I've ever stolen from one of my customers. Proof that you've stolen from a customer, okay? Would it be the Magatama? Yes. It seems old habits die hard, Mr. Armstrong. What is that? This is my Magatama. And I found it in your kitchen. No! Wow, that scream just about broke some windows. Oui. I have a weakness for little trinkets and love figurines. And it just slips out. I cannot stop it. You've stolen handkerchiefs, gloves, and other things from your customers, right? Oui, it is la truth. I am just a timid little girl inside, monsieur. A timid little girl. Besides, this time it was not le small trinket, oui? It was $500,000. Man, no, why would I steal it? I have no need for such money. Really now? Oh, monsieur, what is it? Isn't it true that you're in some pretty serious trouble? And that you're in desperate need of a large amount of cash right now? The loan contract. This restaurant is deep in the red, isn't it? Ah! You have a loan to the tune of $500,000. That lottery ticket would have wiped out your debts. Well, Mr. Armstrong, what do you have to say for yourself now? Got him. We got him. Unlock successful. Maggie's motive. Mr. Armstrong, you said that the victim had a winning lottery ticket for $500,000. How did you know he had something like that in the first place? The man, he was listening to the radio with his earpiece. Maggie said something about that too. The winning number was announced on the news, I think. All of a sudden he exploded. Yes, $500,000, he shouted. And the ticket? He had all of his tickets spread out on the table. I was so desperately into the money, so I put the poison in his coffee. No. Oh no, you naughty man. I simply helped myself to one of his tickets. What? The victim collapsed and Maggie passed out. I thought to myself, pourquoi pas? He had so many of them. Yeah, but only one of them was the winning ticket, right? How could you do that, Mr. Armstrong? Maggie was arrested because of you. No, this is not true. Let's talk about the winning ticket. I did not take it. The ticket for $500,000, I mean. But you just told us you did. You said you took a ticket. No, ma fille. It was not... That's enough. Huh? Ah! Mr. Godot! What in the heck are you doing here? Ugh. This is without a doubt the worst coffee I've ever tasted, Mr. Armstrong. He came in here for coffee? Is this craving for coffee no bounds? Perhaps Mr. Armstrong stole one of the victim's tickets on the day in question. I am ahead, no, just a pretty little girl who everyone is laughing at. But in that case, he's here to spend $166 on. Yes. Maggie shouldn't be the only one under suspicion. He had the wrong ticket. What? Mr. Armstrong made off with the winning ticket's pretty neighbor. So the ticket he took was worthless? Not quite. He did win something. $1. You see, I am just a pretty face. Without my looks, I have nothing. So,
What happened to the winning ticket then? The one he meant to steal? Indeed. What did happen to it? I don't like spoiling myself by watching trailers. So, we'll just wait and see how the movie turns out tomorrow, won't we?
Voila, you two. Time to laugh and la pretty little airhead.
Looks like I won't be needing this note anymore. Victor's note thrown into the trash. Looks like we've got a new mystery now. Namely, where did the winning ticket go? I've got a bad feeling about this. Well, anyway, we can't let Maggie suffer any longer for this, and certainly not again. To be continued. All right, we're getting into the court section next. All right, we got a recipe for Turnabout's trial, and I'm going to take a very quick break and be right back. And I'm back. Let's go. January 7th. We're past the day before January 7th, thankfully. 9:48 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 1. Oh, I see. I guess I should have expected this. Nobody saw the other guy, huh? But he was there when I took the coffee over, sir. Scout's honor.
Maggie!
Ah, Detective Gumshoe.
Are you doing all right? How are you feeling?
As if you need to ask either question, sir.
Don't let him get you down, Maggie. And don't forget to eat well, okay?
Roger.
And you!
Yes?
You'd better square this case away, got it, pal? Maggie's innocent, you hear? If you screw up, then I'll be doing some squaring away myself. Squaring away some paperwork for your arrest.
I think he's serious. Hey, Detective, you're on our side for once, right? He's been on your side before.
Yup.
So you'll be able to help Maggie out, right? Really? Can you, sir?
Of course, I've got the situation under control. I'm gonna be the first witness on the stand today. If something I say doesn't mesh with the facts, you make sure you point it out, all right?
Sure.
Okay, we're forming a united front today, pal. You get me?
I can't tell you how grateful I am, sir. I've always admired you so much, Detective. I know I can count on you. Looks like it should all go pretty smoothly today, huh?
I can only wish. January 7th, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom number 4.
Court is now in session for the trial of Maggie Bird.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Bitter.
Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ah!
What's wrong?
Nothing. It's just whenever I addressed you in the previous trial, your response was, "You sucker to me?" It was a little, well, intimidating.
No, that wasn't me. That was the phony Phoenix.
I see. So, trusty Phoenix Wright is back with us now, is he?
Our trustee?
So, Mr. Godot, your opening statement, please.
Mr. Trite, whether you're a fake or the real deal, we will find out soon enough through this trial today.
But I can already tell you, I'm the real Phoenix Wright.
I wasn't questioning whether you're Phoenix Wright or not. I was questioning whether you had studied law or not. That's what I intend to find out.
There's no denying it. Behind that mask is a man who really hates me for some reason or another.
As everyone is aware, the court has already given its verdict on this case once. Therefore, I won't stand for irrelevant testimony during this retrial. Nor will I stand for a simple repetition of the evidence presented in the last trial.
I'm not planning on repeating anything that phony me said. Trust me.
Now then, Mr. Godot, please summon your first witness.
Let's get started with the formalities, shall we? Name and occupation.
Witness, state your name for the court. Huh? Oh, sorry, sir. The name's Police Department Detective. Occupation Dick Gumshoe.
Other way around, Detective.
Huh? Oh, sorry. Anyway, I'm the officer in charge of this case since yesterday, sir. Since yesterday? Yeah. The guy who was on the initial investigation's tied up with another case now.
I hope Gumshoe's really got everything under control. For everyone's sake.
I see. So, Detective Gumshoe, would you outline for the court the basic facts of the case? Yes, sir. The victim's name was Glenn Elg. He was a professional programmer.
I love how the judge just immediately accepted that the last one was a fake without question. Yes. I don't think the judge questions much of anything anymore. I think he's been traumatized.
He was on the payroll of Blue Screens, Inc., a local company.
That sounds like a terrible company.
This is the victim's autopsy report. The court accepts this into evidence.
Glenn's autopsy report. Died of potassium cyanide poisoning. Time of death was between 1:30 and 2:30 p.m.
And here are the floor plans of the restaurant. When the incident took place, the victim was sitting right here. The poisoned coffee was brought over to him by the waitress. The waitress being the accused? The victim died from poisoning almost immediately after he took a sip of the coffee. At the time of the incident, there were two other people in the restaurant. Mr. John Armstrong, the owner and chef, and a regular by the name of Mr. Victor Kudo. It still seems to be a very straightforward case to me.
All right. Trabian floor plans. Got it.
Come, Detective. Take up this hammer and nail the defendant's coffin shut with your own two hands.
Now then, Detective Gumshoe, let's have your testimony. Yes, sir.
The incident.
When the incident took place, the victim was alone at his table, sir. We understand that the guy, Glenn Elg, was listening to the radio at the time. Traces of poison were found in his coffee cup. And what we found was potassium cyanide. That stuff really packs a punch. And, it looks like Mr. Bird might have, had some kind of a motive.
Using the dark, aromatic depths of coffee to conceal the poison. Classy lady.
The facts of this case seem to be ironclad. Mr. Wright, I would ask you to begin your cross-examination, but,
Yes?
please no intimidation tricks this time around. Is that understood?
I already told you, that wasn't me.
All right. The victim was alone at his table. Can I stop you for just a minute?
Huh? What is it? Did I say something that contradicts the evidence?
He's so desperate for that to be true, he's practically crying. Your testimony just now doesn't match the testimony given by Miss Bird. She claims that there was another man at the victim's table.
Yeah, that's what she said. And
A killer wouldn't say that when faced with a homicide conviction.
Hey!
Sadly, her testimony isn't supported by the owner or the other customer. Isn't that right, Detective Gumshoe?
Yeah, it's true. Their two testimonies tie up on that. They both said there was no other guy at the table.
What should I do? Should I press on this point a little harder or not? Let's press. Well, maybe the other witness just missed him. Perhaps their view of the victim's table was obscured in some way. That argument is as weak as the coffee at Trebian. Right. I have here in my possession a ticket. A ticket? Looks more like a photo to me. Yes, a one-way ticket to Guiltyville. Population, the defendant. Nice. This is a photograph taken from near the entrance to the kitchen.
This is the scene as witnessed by the chef, moments after the poisoning took place, correct?
I think the court will agree that with such a clear view of the scene of the crime.
How, Mr. Triet, could anyone have overlooked a second person at the table? Ugh! It certainly seems to show the victim's table extremely clearly.
Crime photo. All right. That's good, though. We got a photo of the scene of the crime. We understand that the guy was listening to the radio at the time. He was listening to his radio, you say?
Yeah, he had a portable radio in his chest pocket.
Maggie told us that too, didn't she? Something about how one of them had some sort of earpiece? What should I do? Should I press on this point a little harder? Yeah, because the lottery ticket. And what was it that the victim was listening to on the radio, Detective Gumshoe?
Huh? How should I know?
Thanks a lot. We're now one step closer to the middle of nowhere. This isn't going to very well, is it, Nick?
Detective? Could you perhaps tell us about the poison and how it was used?
Traces of poison were found in his coffee cup, right? So traces of the poison were found in the coffee cup and nowhere else?
Not sure I get you, pal.
Was the poison a liquid, or was it a powder?
If I had to put it in layman's terms, I'd say it was a powdery substance.
So the poison could have been in anything that was on the table. Sugar, salt, pepper. Do you put salt and pepper in your coffee, Trite?
The victim took his coffee black, with no sugar. It seems that the poison could have only been in the coffee.
What should I do? Should I press on this point a little harder or not? Probably. Are you absolutely certain that the victim even drank any of his coffee?
Huh? What do you mean?
According to this file, the poison was found in the victim's coffee cup. But what proof is there that the victim ever drank any of it?
Oh, hey, you're right. That's what I was...
In case you were wondering, that last objection was for the detective there.
Huh? For me?
Oh, hey, you're right. You may be fooling the court, but I'm not falling for it. If you have the time to waste, you have the time to present that piece of evidence.
That piece, sir?
Yes, that piece.
What piece was it again? This!
Should I be grateful this coffee's only hot enough to give me first-degree burns?
Oh, now I remember. This is the, victim's coffee cup.
Now, did that cup that he just threw at Phoenix count as one of his 17? I don't know.
Yes, the victim's cup. Take a good look at the rim.
Oh, yes, it's unmistakable. There is clearly a coffee stain on it.
Conclusive proof that the victim did drink the poison coffee that was in this cup. The victim gulped down the bitter death that the waitress brought to him.
Like this. Ah! For the record, the only prints on the cup were the victims and the defendants.
All right. The coffee contained potassium cyanide covered in the victim and Maggie's fingerprints.
Upon further investigation of this cup, we found a certain chemical substance.
And it'll be potassium cyanide. That stuff really packs a punch. Okay? Potassium cyanide. I've heard of that chemical before. Exactly how strong is this poison, Detective Gumshoe?
It's, well, that stuff's lethal. Eat too much and your history.
Too much is too much.
A lethal dose is 0.2 grams. That's about enough to finish anyone off.
0.2 grams? How much is that?
You know when you swab your ears for earwax? Yeah, about that much.
Earwax, huh? Sounds like something Gumshoe's got an abundance of.
Such a small quantity of poison could have been concealed anywhere.
And it looks like Miss Bird would have had a motive. We need to press this. You really think there are any contradictions in this testimony? To be honest, I don't know. But Gumshoe told us out in the lobby. He said we'd be forming a united front, right? How will we win the case if he doesn't throw us a line? I don't have a whole lot of options right now. The best I can do is gather the facts together, I guess. Alright, so the last statement we've got to press. Some kind of a motive?
Yeah, but if you ask me, it's been blown way out of proportion.
You know what my golden rule is, Detective? Chuck out a bad cup of coffee. You can always get another.
Nope, I don't get it.
I'm saying we can always get another witness on the stand, if we have to chuck you out. So stick to the facts, Detective. Now then, what was Miss Bird's motive?
Come on, Gumshoe.
They said she wanted to steal a lottery ticket.
I knew it. That's what we heard yesterday, too.
It disappeared from the scene of the crime.
And it wasn't just any lottery ticket.
It was a winning ticket for $500,000.
Mr. Armstrong knew about the ticket too, didn't he? But he stole the wrong one.
Then, is it possible Maggie stole the winning one? What should I do? Should I press on this point a little harder or not? Yeah. Wait a minute. The mere fact that the lottery ticket disappeared in no way implicates my client.
Ha! I have here in my hand the very ticket in question.
That's the $500,000 lottery ticket? One of the female police officers found it when she was conducting a search of the defendant.
What? I'm so glad we're just finding out about this.
Order! Order!
She's quite a lucky bird, our little waitress.
You will submit that ticket as evidence to the court immediately.
I better keep an eye on that ticket. The way the judge's voice is quivering. All right, a winning ticket for $500,000 found during a body search of Maggie.
This ticket was presented to the court in the previous trial, too. But it feels heavier now somehow. $500,000, you say?
Were you not paying attention last time? It's just a scrap of paper. What matters is where it was found, Your Honor. And that's on Maggie's person, unfortunately.
That's enough. The facts of this case seem overwhelmingly clear to me. The defendant had ample opportunity to commit the crime of which she is charged. Furthermore, it seems beyond reasonable doubt that she did indeed commit this crime.
I like an old man who knows the score.
There's also the matter of the $500,000 lottery ticket. That alone provides a very credible motive. I mean, for that sum of money, even I might be tempted to bend the rules.
I don't mind an old man who is weak to the siren call of money. Not good, Nick. The evidence against Maggie is starting to pile up fast. Yeah, that's because the court has ruled guilty once already. I'd say it's about time to wrap up this repeat performance with one final, decisive piece of evidence. He's got more evidence against Maggie. This is the apron the delightful Miss Bird was wearing at the time. Wow, that's not the cleanest apron I've seen. That stain looks like... It can't be blood, can it? Huh. It seems the star of our play was a little flustered and somehow spilled coffee on herself. The coffee? But that's not exactly the first thing that caught my eye. Of course, the coffee stain isn't the most interesting thing about this apron. No, there's something else that stands out even more.
Something else? I presume you mean...
Of course. I'm referring to the pocket.
The pocket?
A search carried out right after the incident uncovered this. Potassium cyanide. The very poison used by the killer was in her apron pocket.
A bottle of poison? In Maggie's pocket?
Yeah, but Maggie's prints were the only ones on it.
What? Order! 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 The court will accept these items into evidence.
Worn by Maggie at the time of the incident has a small pocket but big stains. And potassium cyanide. Okay.
There's something still bothering me, Mr. Godot. Why have you not explained the bloodstain to the court?
Bloodstain? What bloodstain would that be?
Don't play games, prosecutor. The blood-colored stain that's smeared all over the apron.
That's ridiculous. No one told me anything about a bloodstain. You don't need to be told. Just look at it.
Well, detective, could this stain really be blood? No way, sir. It's just ketchup, sir.
Ketchup?
She must have gotten some on her apron while taking someone their breakfast that day. You could have spoken up a little sooner, Detective Gumshoe.
Pull a stunt like that again and I'll have you drink 17 cups of ketchup. Witness.
I thought everyone knew what it was already.
I haven't seen anything yet to make me doubt the last ruling I made on this case.
The motive, the opportunity, and the supporting evidence, they have all been clearly established.
Well, Trite, it seems you really are a phony after all.
You
really know how to drive a man nuts.
Witness, please continue with your testimony. Describe for the court the crime scene and the findings of your investigation there.
Okay, the investigation.
The crime was reported at the 2:25 p.m. by a kind of scary old man, sir. Poor Maggie had passed out from the shock. It must have been real tough for her. The victim didn't have any identification on him, but we figured out who he was pretty quick, and then the investigation went smoothly. When Maggie was searched, we found the lottery ticket and the bottle of poison. And that was it. There was nothing else missing from the crime scene. You identified the victim and secured your prime suspect. Very good.
Last chance to convince the court you're a real lawyer, Trite. Don't count on any more cross-examinations after this one. So, let the fun begin.
The investigation. Okay. Crime was reported. A scary old man, Detective Gumshoe?
There's an old man who's a regular at the restaurant where the incident happened.
Ah, we're obviously talking about the same old man.
Officers were dispatched right after the report came in, but the old guy still made a fuss. What took you so long? And then he hurled abuse at them. And seeds.
Seeds?
Ha! It was nothing. I caught each one with my teeth.
I guess not even the mighty Godot can avoid being attacked by that guy.
The old man was the only other customer in the place at the time. He took his time finding a payphone, apparently, so he was late reporting the crime.
Poor Maggie had passed out from the shock. Must have been real tough. Right. How long was the defendant unconscious for?
The officers got to the crime scene at around 2:40. Maggie was still out cold in the kitchen at that time. It took another 10 minutes or so before she came to. I would have liked to have been on the scene myself.
I bet you would have liked to have carried out the search, too.
I would have loved to see Maggie asleep like that, all pretty and peaceful.
You're a professional, Detective Gumshoe, not a professional bird watcher.
Save the romantics for your own time, Detective. All we need to know about is the investigation.
Oops, I guess I'm pretty red right now, aren't I?
The victim didn't have any identification. He didn't have any? Are you saying that it was stolen then?
No, I don't think so. The victim didn't have a driver's license or even a credit card on him, pal. All he had was 58 cents in his wallet.
58 cents?
Yeah, I can't believe I found someone with less in their wallet than me, pal. The victim sounds like he was a thoroughly miserable young man.
Or some kind of outlaw. Why not give him a bit of an edge?
I think I'm onto something here. Yeah. The victim didn't have any identification on him. We figured out who he was pretty quickly. How did they figure that out? Wait a sec.
Huh? Did I say something dumb again?
Let me paraphrase what you just testified to this court. The victim didn't have any form of ID on him. That's basically what you said, yes?
Yeah, basically.
In that case, how were you able to identify the victim so quickly?
Oh, that.
He's so let down, he's got the whole sagging shoulders and puppy eyes things going.
There was a prescription bag on the victim's table along with the lottery ticket.
It seems Mr. Glenn Elg visited his doctor before he went to Trilogy.
We got the victim's name from the medical records of the doc who prescribed the meds. Well, that's a reliable enough source for the court.
What should I do? Should I leave this alone or ask to hear more? No. Ask about his health insurance. Now let's talk about the prescription bag. So what sort of medicine was in the bag?
Well, actually, the bag we found was empty.
Huh?
Yeah, completely empty.
It was completely empty. Huh. The victim got this from the doctor before going to Trilogy. The bag is empty.
Ha! You're entering an empty bag as evidence? Desperate, are you, Trite?
Huh?
Now, what happened with the investigation after that, Detective?
When Maggie was searched, we found the lottery ticket and the bottle of poison. Okay. But the defendant had been passed out for a while, correct? In that case, isn't it possible someone planted the evidence in Maggie's pocket?
Hey, yeah, you've nailed it, pal. It happens to me all the time. We had a department party the other day, and when I got home, I was wearing the boss's shoes.
Keep up this crazy testimony, Detective, and those shoes will end up down your throat.
Sorry.
So, Trite, someone planted the evidence in Maggie's pocket? That's a pretty bold statement. Care to back it up with some evidence?
Well, I'd love to if I had any.
It appears you have no evidence to support your theory, Mr. Wright. Continue with your testimony, witness.
Okay, and that was it. There was nothing else missing from the crime scene. Okay. So the $500,000 lottery ticket and the bottle of poison were accounted for?
Yeah.
Interesting. It's true that those two items are accounted for. But wasn't there another lottery ticket that was stolen that day?
Oh, yeah. The one the restaurant owner took. He won a whole $1 with it. What a lucky guy, huh?
And they're just gonna let him get away with it?
It was just $1, detective.
I guess no one cares when it's that little, except for Gumshoe. If I don't find a hole in this testimony, the judge is going to hand down his verdict. Gumshoe isn't giving us anything to work with, and we can't find any contradictions if he doesn't give us something. Yeah, that's true. But Maggie and Gumshoe are like Dumb and Dumber. Our only hope is that they were so dumb they missed something obvious. Come on, Gumshoe, be the dumbest you've ever been. Yes, we need it. Who supported? Jim got this before going. The bag is. Maggie had passed out. Victim didn't have any ID. We figured out who he was pretty quick. Right, we got the reason for that, was the prescription bag. When Maggie was searched, we found the lottery ticket and the bottle of poison, and that was it. There was nothing else missing. That statement stands out to me. What? Okay. The autopsy reports, Tribune. We got the cyanide bottle. The victim's lottery ticket. So we know that was found. Coffee cup. Yeah, that was found. So technically speaking, so the prescription bag is empty, right? I'm wondering if the actual contradiction is that the bag didn't have anything in it. Like, if he had just gotten it, wouldn't there be something in it? It wouldn't just be like a single item, right? That's a little weird. I think I'm going to try to present that and see if it works. I think it did. Detective Gumshoe, I think I should point something out to you. There's just one small contradiction in your testimony.
Oh, finally! I'm getting all anxious just waiting, so hurry up, will you?
You testified that nothing else was missing from the crime scene. However, the prescription bag you mentioned was empty. Did the officers recover the medicine from the scene of the crime later?
No, they didn't.
The victim was given a prescription right before going to Tribune. Where then did the medicine disappear to?
You're too cool, pal!
Indeed! Due consideration wasn't given to the victim's prescription in the previous trial. Witness, why do you always overlook such vital pieces of evidence?
I guess that's the most careless thing I've done so far, huh?
The victim was killed by poison, and the victim's medicine mysteriously disappeared. The victim's own prescription could have been the lethal poison itself. Really?
Order! Well, Mr. Godot, what do you have to say to that?
Ha. That's all. What? Read for the court the name of the clinic on the prescription bag, if you will. What's the clinic's name got to do with anything? New ear otolaryngological. What?
Just what kind of illness was the victim suffering from, Mr. Godot?
Hardly an illness, Your Honor. More like a bitter war wound, you could say.
A war wound?
The day before the incident, Mr. Elg found himself in a fight. He took a blow to the side of the head and ruptured his eardrum.
He ruptured his eardrum? Then what on earth was the prescription he was given?
It was a cream that was to be applied topically inside his ear canal, not to be ingested.
What?
It's mentioned in the autopsy report, if you read the fine print. They found traces of the medication in the victim's left ear.
Oh, yes, here it is. In very, very fine print.
It seems Mr. L correctly applied some of his medication while he was at Très Bien. Therefore, it would be absurd to believe that he would have eaten his medication.
It seems that this medication is irrelevant to the case after all.
No. Nick, if you don't think of something quick, it'll all be over. She's right. But I can't get away with any week-old objection. What should I do?
Well... That's a really good question, isn't it? Leaving it, it doesn't feel like that's a real option, so we're gonna push it. Only moments ago, Mr. Godot made the following statement. It seems Mr. Elg correctly applied some of his medication while he was at Très Bien. If that's the case, then why was the medication not found at the scene of the crime?
But the medication in question was for topical use inside the ear canal.
That doesn't change the fact that it couldn't be found at the crime scene. However insignificant it may seem, it's a lawyer's duty to pursue the truth.
You know as well as I do that the medication is irrelevant.
It hardly seems likely that a prescription drug would contain potassium cyanide.
It hardly seems likely that the coffee the waitress served would contain it either. But it did. The possibility is undeniable.
That's enough. Mr. Godot, is the detective the only witness the prosecution wishes to call? Mr. Godot? I've got my own witness I'd like to call, sir. It's the old man who was there in the restaurant on the day of the murder.
Victor Kudo? Pigeon hater?
Very well. The matter of the disappearing medication seems little more than trivial at best. However, it wasn't explored at all in the previous trial, and that's something that bothers me.
Yay! Good job, Nick.
The court will adjourn for a 10-minute recess, after which we will hear the prosecution's next witness.
I suppose this means I'll just have to finish you off in my last 6 cups.
Court is adjourned for recess.
January 7th, 11:03 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 1.
Phew, that was close.
Tell me about it. I nearly died in there.
That's my line, sir. No, it's my line. I think you really did die a little bit. Looks like we all nearly died in there. I can't believe Detective Gumshoe. How could he betray us like that? Huh? He said he'd help me, but he totally set me up.
I don't think he meant to do that. Maggie, he was backed into a corner. I mean, the guy's got to do his job, right?
It's okay. I know all about lies and betrayal. I've had them my whole life. But it really hurt this time. It felt like someone punched me hard in the stomach. I hate that guy. I don't ever want to see him again. Oh, poor Gumshoe. So the next witness is going to be that old guy from the park, right?
Yeah, Mr. Kudo. Lover of waitress outfits and projectile seeds. I bet he's going to be really stubborn. I mean, he's pretty set in his ways, you know?
Yeah, he's a big old grouch. Are you going to be able to handle him, Nick?
Yeah, I can take whatever he throws at me. Even those never-ending bird seeds. January 7th, 11:15 a.m., District Court, Courtroom Number 4.
Court will now reconvene for the trial of Maggie Bird. Mr. Godot, your next witness, please.
The prosecution calls the lucky old-timer who caught the show over a cup of coffee. Will the witness please take the stand? Name and occupation, if you don't mind.
The name is Victor Kudo, born and bred in the land of the rising sun. Honor and duty what makes me. Mind you, I can be quite emotional at times, too.
We don't need to hear about that, Mr. Kudo. Just tell the court your occupation.
My occupation? Yeah, listen, young'un. How much do you think there is for kimono embroidery here?
Kimono embroidery?
That's what I do, or did, back in Japan. I embroidered family crests on kimonos. My ancestors were embroidering kimonos before this country even existed.
Wow. A real craftsman. They're a dying breed. Hey, maybe you could embroider my costume sometime.
Anyway, like I said, there's not much demand for that kind of thing here. So I had to take a job working the cash register at a burger joint, pretending to smile.
The burger joint would have been better off putting him in the kitchen.
But now then, witness, were you in the restaurant at the time of the incident? Oh, yes. I was eating some seeds over a cup of Giavicino. Seeds? What do you think these are, huh? I see.
So you saw everything that happened, Gramps.
Did I? Oh, yes. Oh, yes, I did. I saw it all.
Then please tell the court. We're all ears.
Sure. I'll tell you. I'll tell you every last detail.
He's really getting into this. What I witnessed.
The young man was reading the sports paper. The serving girl brought him a Giavicino, but she put something in it. The man took one sip of it, looked like he was in terrible pain, and then collapsed. That's the serving girl, right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well. Mr. Kudo, she's not a serving girl. Please refer to her as a waitress. You're as bad as the rest of them. All these newfangled words, what's wrong with old-fashioned ones, huh? Newfangled? All this talk of radios and glasses, it's wireless and spectacles, I tell you. Excuse me? Listen to me, everyone, and don't forget the old values. Don't let the good old days slip away. Well, I think it's time to begin the cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor. All right, what you witnessed. Young man was reading the sports paper, okay? So you saw the victim then? You saw Mr. Glenn Elg?
I wanted to know if Guts and Braun retained his championship or not.
So he was looking at the sports paper the victim was reading, huh? And at the location in question, there are partitions between tables on the same side of the restaurant, right?
So what if there are?
If you say that you could see the victim, that means you were sitting at a table on the other side of the restaurant, correct?
Yeah, I go to that place to drink Giavicino. I don't go to sit. I don't remember which table I was sitting at.
You mean you go there to eye the waitress? The serving girl brought him a Giavicino, but you put something in it. Yeah. Mr. Kudo, that's a very grave accusation. Are you sure about what you saw?
Victor Kudo never makes mistakes. I dot every T and cross every I.
I see.
My eyesight's fine. The doctor said I only need spectacles for reading and driving.
I bet his eyes are only really fine when he's scoping out a waitress.
And I saw what the serving girl put in the Giavicino as well.
I bet I know what's coming up. And something tells me I'm not gonna like it. Press harder. Your Honor, we need more clarification on what was put into the victim's coffee. I'd like to ask that the witness add what he knows about this to his testimony.
I agree. Witness, will you enlighten us, please? Sure.
There's no question about it. She very conspicuously put some white powder in there. Okay. I don't think we have anything yet, so let's see. Did she really put that into the coffee?
You doubt me, boy? She took some out of a small brown bottle and sprinkled it in.
Couldn't she have been adding sugar?
Sugar in a small brown bottle like that? Like that? Witness, could you please describe the bottle in more concrete terms?
A bottle like this, perhaps?
Oh, there it is. That's the one. That's the bottle of potassium cyanide, I presume.
So what did the accused put into the coffee? I think it's clear, don't you? The man took one sip of it, looked like he was in terrible pain, and then collapsed. He took just one sip?
You young'uns, you waste everything. Those Javachinos cost $8. In the good old days, we would have drank every last drop, eaten the cup, and then died.
Congratulations. You've earned the title of battiest man to grace a courtroom. Oh, Phoenix, come on. So it was an immediate death? Well, with potassium cyanide, I suppose that's possible.
Oh yes, he slumped over without so much as a twitch. I felt the Javachino I just drank turn sour in my stomach.
That's not even a little bit true at this point in the series. No, it's not. Oh yes, I know that feeling.
And the waitress? I presume she is...
That's the serving girl right there. Yep, okay. You said I remember her well in reference to the waitress. Did she have any particular features that you can identify her by?
Particular features? It's a disgrace, that's what it is.
Sorry?
You can see all the way up to her, you know. She's practically naked in that uniform.
So the particular feature recognized about the waitress is her outfit? But anyone could wear just such a uniform.
Even me! Mr. Wright, please spare the court of any further mental anguish from that image.
Don't get all excited, Nick. You gotta keep yourself together. I guess I got a bit carried away.
There are other things I recognize about her, too.
He seems pretty sure of himself. What should I do? Press harder. I'm sure there's fan art of that, by the way. I'm sure there is. Sure, you saw a waitress take the coffee over to the victim. But what matters is whether that waitress was Maggie Bird or not.
Quite right. Mr. Kudo, these other features that you recognize about the defendant, I would ask you to add them to your testimony. Oh, sure.
There was a ribbon in her hair, and her apron's straps were loose. Well, she does have a ribbon in that picture. But why were the apron's straps loose? Wait a minute. Okay. Wait, but he doesn't notice the ketchup stains? Well, let's press first. You do seem to remember several details about her appearance. But what about the most crucial detail of all, her face?
As if I wouldn't remember that.
The witness noticed the straps on the accused aprons. He's unlikely to make a mistake about her face.
That's right. I can even tell you the color of the ribbon in her hair. It was red.
So you see, there's nothing wrong with the witness's eyesight. There's no doubt he remembers the waitress pretty well. What should I do? I get the feeling there's something more to this somehow. Ask about her back or about the straps? I mean, the straps, whatever, they're undone. I mean, that's what he's saying. Let's talk about her back. The identifying features you described are all things you'd see from the back.
So what?
Is it possible that you never saw the waitress from the front at all? Ha! He's got you there, Gramps. People normally talk about facial features when they're asked to describe somebody. But this witness's testimony is nothing but straps and ribbons!
This is harassment! I tell you, I'm not obsessed with straps or ribbons. I'm just telling you what I saw. Mr. Kudo, the court requests that you add details about any identifying features you observed from the front, that is, to your testimony. Sure.
This old man's testimony is getting longer and longer. And if I can't find a hole in it soon, it'll get even longer, I bet. There wasn't anything that caught my interest about her when I saw her from the front. Well, now there, because she had a ketchup stain and a coffee stain. That would have been an obvious thing. I think we got him here. Boom. Mr. Kudo, I would like you to please take a look at this.
Yeah, that filthy thing would suit filth like you just perfectly. Actually, it reminds me of what my grandson looks like just after he's done eating.
Have you ever seen this before?
Of course I haven't. Do you think I'd forget something as dirty as that? Well, you half-witted clot. Huh? What? What is it? Ever since I said you half-witted clot, there's been an eerie silence in here.
Mr. Kudo, this apron is the apron worn by the defendant the day of the poisoning.
Huh?
And as you just said yourself, you wouldn't forget something like this. Which means, if you'd really seen this apron before... Yes, you know what I'm getting at. You couldn't have possibly seen the waitress from the front.
Oops. Witness! We can't just oops your way out of this.
Ah, well, well. Looks like we finally have a genuine trial on our hands. Listen, try it. Here are the facts. On the day of the incident, there was only one waitress in the restaurant.
That being the defendant, Miss Maggie Bird?
Exactly. And when that one waitress put the poison into the coffee cup, this old guy was watching.
I hope you understand the gravity of this situation, Mr. Kudo. The fate of the defendant may rest on what you remember seeing.
Just tell the court exactly what you saw, Gramps.
You can rely on me, Captain. My noggin's in perfect working order. I can't remember a single occasion when I forgot what burger a customer wanted.
He can't remember? Probably more like he messed up so many times he's blocking it out.
Very well. Let's just see how much test how good your memory and attention to detail is, Mr. Kudo. Tell us what you remember about the victim.
About the victim. Okay. He was another
one of those pesky young types wearing a broken pair of spectacles. He had a newspaper in his right hand and the noisy brat kept rustling its pages. The young man was listening to the wireless. I remember that well. Then the serving girl in question brought over the Javicino. The little fidget picked up the cup with his free hand and took a sip. The testimony we've just heard was to test how credible the witness's memory is. It seems to me that he remembers the victim in a great deal of detail. Oh yes, I hate those you-know-what types who are so vague about everything.
Nice. How are we going to handle this, Nick? We only need to do one thing. We just need to prove that the old man's memory is shot. Just trip him up, you mean? Isn't that kind of cruel? I suppose, but it's what I do best. Alright, about the victim. Alright, young type's wearing a broken pair of spectacles, okay? Spectacles? Are we talking about his, Dragon Ball Scouter he has on?
Dark glasses to you. One of the lenses was green, but the other was broken. Newfangled rubbish, that's why I remember him so well.
He did have some kind of lens over his left eye, but I wouldn't have called it a pair of glasses.
He seems to have been wearing some rather modern-looking shades. Perhaps I should take to wearing some and rival Mr. Godot's sharp appearance.
Ah! We gotta come up with something sharp and quick. Guess I'll wait and see if I should challenge him about these spectacles. Okay? He had a newspaper in his right hand and the noisy brat kept rustling its pages. Okay? The newspaper was a sports paper, wasn't it?
That young hooligan. I nearly asked him, can't you even read without fidgeting? How was I supposed to be able to read the back page with that rustling going on? I needed to find out if Guts and Braun retained his championship title.
It was his paper, not yours. If you wanted to know so bad, why didn't you buy your own?
What are you looking at me like that for, huh? How dare you judge me? Ow! Ow!
Guts and Braun got beaten yesterday, by the way. Anyway. The young man was listening to the wireless, okay? The wireless?
The decadent young rascal. In my day, it was one or the other. Read the paper or listen to the wireless.
Oh, boy.
And using an earpiece. It's selfish, that's what it is. I was straining my ears, but I couldn't catch any of it.
Was he that desperate to listen to the radio?
What are you looking at me like that for, huh? How dare you feel sorry for me? Ow! Ow!
Then the serving girl in question brought over the Javachino. Okay. You mean the waitress who you only saw from behind, right?
You're one of those, are you? You never let anything go, isn't that right?
Maybe.
What does it matter if I saw her from the front or from behind? My eyes don't lie. Ow! Ow!
I better not push it until I've got some hard evidence. Little Fidget picked up the cup with his free hand and took a sip, okay? His free hand?
Yes.
Which hand was that?
Weren't you listening before, cloth ears? I said he was rustling the newspaper with his right hand, didn't I? If his free hand wasn't his right hand, then which hand was it, you moron? Ow! Ow!
Huh. Perhaps the great Mr. Trite has 3 hands. Eesh, I was only asking. No need to gang up on me and treat me like a freak. The whole point of this cross-examination is to establish just one thing. This old guy's memory has more holes than a slice of Swiss. I guess we just need to find a contradiction in his testimony somewhere, huh? Anything will do, even the smallest detail. We just need one mistake and he's ours. Okay, so... let's see, he was another one of those pesky young types. The young man was listening to the wireless, I remember that well. The serving girl in question brought out the Javachino. The little Fidget picked up the cup with his free hand and took a sip, okay? Yeah. So let's look at what we got evidence-wise. We have his sports paper, which he was doodling. We know that for sure. And the coffee contained potassium cyanide covered in the victim and Maggie's fingerprints. So the coffee cup has that kind of like flower design on it. Let's look at the picture of the crime scene. So, wait a minute. His right hand, I don't see the newspaper in that crime scene photo, for one thing. And then, so, let me listen to that testimony again, because he's got, it would have been his right hand, is what it looks like. Let's see, he had a newspaper, then the serving girl, then picked up with the free hand, okay? Free hand, which hand was that? The rest of the newspaper with his right hand. His free hand wasn't his right hand. Okay, so he's saying his free hand was his right hand. That's a contradiction then. Yeah. So, let's see, oh, also, where the coffee stain is, too, right? Because if it was with because in the picture, his right hand is closest to it, and then the coffee stain, where presumably he took a sip, you would be holding it with your right hand. If you held it with your left hand, it would be on the other side. So that is the contradiction. But let me get back to it, and then we'll press that, or we'll present. Got it. Mr. Kudo, do you remember what you were told at the start of this testimony? That this was a way of testing the credibility of your memory?
I know. There's nothing wrong with my memory, I tell you. Nothing. If I got anything wrong, I'll eat these seeds and sing the pigeon song.
Care to tell us where this is going, Trite? According to Mr. Kudo, the victim was holding the paper in his right hand, while drinking coffee with his free hand, which would make that his left.
Yeah, what is this, kindergarten?
But I would like the court to please take a look at this.
That's the cup the victim used, correct?
Yes, and on the rim, you'll notice the mark left by the victim's lips.
Yes, there's a stain left by the coffee.
If you consider where that stain is, you'll clearly see that the victim was holding the cup in his right hand.
But how?
Well, Mr. Kudo, The court is waiting for your epic performance.
You said you'd eat those seeds and sing the pigeon song. Ah! Mr. Kudo, I'm afraid this is simply not acceptable. I think the witness had better go back to the park where he came from. Wait! If you think I'm gonna stand here and listen to you tell me I'm mad, you're wrong. I don't care about that dirty coffee cup. I know what I saw. You still insist on your testimony? That young brat was holding the cup in his left hand. Oh yes, no question. I'm a good, law-abiding citizen, I am. It's that dead young hot butt. And you spiky-haired yahoo, who are at fault.
Who, me?
Well, thank you, old man. We've heard quite enough from you already. Don't call me old man, you old man. Been around for 68 years, I have. You can't ignore me. Listen to what I've got to say. I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, but...
Sure. Why not hear a little more?
Mr. Godot?
But this is my 16th cup of coffee. So, this is your final stand.
Thank you, Captain. Yeah, you can rely on Victor.
Left hand or right hand? Okay.
The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs.
Okay. Hang on a second. So, the B is left. Does the picture... we can't even see his face in the picture. He kept fiddling with it all the time. He was fiddling with it just before he picked up the cup, too. And then he used the same hand to pick up the cup, his left hand. Okay?
We know that the victim was wearing an unusual monocle over his left eye.
It wasn't a monocle, Your Honor. It was a small computer monitor, often used by programmers. Oh yes, very often. You can see his ear. That's a good question. That's a good point. You can see his ear. So the earpiece is decidedly well, I don't know, but it doesn't look like there's an earpiece in there. Yes, many computer programmers use Dragon Ball Z Scouters.
A monitor? You mean like a television screen?
The inside of the lens is a screen that displays computer data. It's called an HMD. It's a common tool in the victim's line of work.
HD, DVD, CD, all these newfangled letters drive me mad. But they don't matter. I know what I saw and I'm telling the truth.
It's true. He doesn't seem to be lying.
And those are the facts in good old black and white.
Okay, left hand or right hand? Okay. It's wearing the earpiece on the same side. Let's press that. So the victim was wearing an HMD.
HDTV, CD, DVD, what does it matter?
It was none of those, actually, but anyway. And you're sure that he was wearing the earpiece on the same side?
No question. I could only see that side of his head from where I was sitting.
Yeah, that's pretty obvious if you look at the floor plans. Yeah, from the opposite table, he'd only have a view of the side of the victim's head. You kept fiddling with it all the time. It seems you kept an eye on Mr. Glenn Elg.
He was getting on my nerves, rustling that newspaper and fiddling with his earpiece all the time. And then he went and made all that fuss dying from one sip of Javicino. I wanted to say to him, calm down, you young brat. Just looking at him made me suddenly speed up my seed eating. I could have choked.
So I take it the victim was a walking ball of nervous energy. He was fiddling with it just before he picked up the cup, too. Okay? The earpiece you mentioned, which hand did the victim touch it with?
You're one of those people, aren't you? You're the type that uses your left hand to get things out of your right pocket. Or fastens your left cuff with your right hand. And when the tour guide says on your right side, you'll see the famous blah blah, and you're the only one who deliberately looks left. Well, aren't you?
No, I didn't mean...
Obviously, he used the hand on the same side of his body that the earpiece was in. Ow, ow, ow!
So if he had the HMD on his left side, then it was his left hand, I guess. Okay. And then he used the same hand to pick up the cup, his left hand. You seem very sure of yourself, Mr. Kudo.
That's because I know what I saw, no matter what tricks you try to play on me.
It looks like he really did see the guy picking the cup up with his left hand. This is a dead end. Well, Nick, what do you think? I think the guy's telling the truth. But even so, something's not quite right. Then chuck evidence at him until he breaks. But if he's not lying, there wouldn't be any contradictions in his testimony, right? Let's see. He was wearing the earpiece on the same side. Yeah. He kept fiddling with it. He was fiddling with it just before he picked up the cup, too. And then he used the same hand to pick up the cup, his left hand. Okay. This seems like the money statement. So he used his left hand to pick up the cup. Wait. He kept fiddling with it. Wait. Earpiece. Hang on. Ear. His prescription bag was... left eardrum was ruptured. So he's fiddling with his left ear. And then... Huh. So wait a minute. Wait. So his prescription... yeah, this is weird. The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens, so... on the left side. He kept fiddling with it. He was fiddling with it just before he picked up the cup. Just before he picked up the cup. And then he used the same hand to pick up that cup. I'm curious. The prescription is a big deal here, I think. Because I'm wondering if he noticed something about the medicine. Let's see. Aha! I'm not sure what the relevance of this is, but... Mr. Kudo, there is something very strange about your observations of the victim.
What?
You say he was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the HMD.
No question. You can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear without a doubt. I can only see that side of his head from where I was sitting.
I don't think so.
Well, what did you say?
You're no doubt unaware of this fact, Mr. Kudo, but the victim couldn't hear with his left ear. His eardrum was ruptured.
Eh?
Traces of medication for his condition were found in his ear canal. That's right, it's impossible that the victim was wearing his earpiece in his left ear, because he couldn't even hear in that ear.
Is that true, Captain?
It is.
Pigeon? Pretty pigeon? Order!
This witness's testimony is completely unreliable. He only saw the waitress from behind, and he claims the victim was wearing an earpiece when we know his eardrum was ruptured. Well, Mr. Godot?
A single drop of milk is all it takes to destroy the pure black magic in the cup. This old man is my drop of milk. Captain, are you calling me a drip?
This is the victim's coffee cup in which the potassium cyanide was found. The mark on the rim clearly shows that the victim picked it up with his right hand.
I'll never back down. I know I'm right. This lad drank his Javachino with his left hand.
Let me put you out of your misery. Clearly, the victim used both hands. He took a sip with the cup held in his right hand, and then switched to his left. That's what the old man saw. Impossible. The witness has already testified on numerous occasions that the victim died immediately after taking just one sip of the coffee. Which hand the victim used to pick up his cup is irrelevant, Your Honor. The facts still stand. With one hand or the other, Mr. Elg drank the poisoned coffee. Like this. Sadly, Mr. Godot, that doesn't wash. The point of this testimony was to establish whether the witness's memory is credible. And the results are clear. This testimony given by this witness is useless.
I believe it's time to conclude today's proceedings. I'm satisfied that the witness is not deceiving the court. But to be frank, his testimony is a farce. Did you have to be so frank? Take that, you pompous old fogey. I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo. You can't reach me from there. I'm ordering the defense and the prosecution to investigate this case further. That is all for now. This court is adjourned. Wait! If we stop now, where does that leave me? Leave you, Mr. Kudo? Thanks to that blue-suited young upstart over there. I'm just a bumbling old man who can't even dot his T's or cross his I's now.
How is your bad memory my fault?
I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, but there's nothing I can do. I've kept my mouth shut until now. But there's something else the court should know. What?
There's more?
To be perfectly honest, it might not be anything. But I want another chance. I want another crack at you, you young shark.
Me? He's looking at me like I'm sort of evil shogun.
Well, everyone, what do you say to one final showdown? The final chapter of this eccentric old man's scrapbook.
Sorry, Gramps. I've already had my 17th cup of coffee.
What have you got to lose, Captain? I'll give you all the Jarachino you want if you come to my house after the trial. I may be 68 years old, but Victor Kudo is still a man. That's enough, witness. I believe it will be quicker for the court to just hear your testimony. You bet. Much, much quicker.
I can't believe this is happening.
You better get ready, youngster.
I get the picture. Just quit throwing those seeds at me, would you? He's got to be using some sort of infinite ammo code with that box of seeds. He's got Snake's headband. All right, the final showdown.
First of all, I want to stress that this might be nothing. I'm not too sure of myself. The young boy slumped over the table as soon as he took one sip of his Javachino. Well, the clumsy idiot upset the vase. He knocked it right over. It broke, and the strip of cloth covering the table got completely soaked. Well, how about that? Turn things upside down, huh? Is that all? Yes, that's all. I remember it perfectly. Yep, you're doubting me again? You're doubting a poor, defenseless old man? No, we're not doubting you, Mr. Kudo.
Don't you get the feeling there's a question hanging on everyone's lips, Nick?
Yeah.
So what? Probably.
That's all I can think of.
And I have to cross-examine this guy.
You're a bird brain, that's why. That's what all you can think of.
Okay.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Your final cross-examination, please.
All right, the final showdown. Okay. First of all... Okay, might be nothing. The court generally prefers if witnesses are sure of themselves, Mr. Kudo.
Noisy brat. I'm warning you, I'm more savage than a macho man right now. He won't beat me with his testimony. This is the final battle.
Ow, ow! He's chucking those seeds harder than ever. I better be careful. Come on, Nick. Nail him. The young boy slumped over the table as soon as he took one sip of his Javachino. Okay. The court has already heard about that testimony, Mr. Kudo.
I know that. I was just setting the mood. How else am I supposed to build up the suspense, huh?
The suspense?
Yes. Now what do you think? Should I work the audience a bit more? No. Please continue, Mr. Kudo. As quickly as possible. All right. Now where was I? Ah, yes. The young boy slumped over the table and...
The clumsy idiot upset the vase. He knocked it right over. Is that the case in the... No, the vase is set back up. It is... Wait, that's a clear contradiction. I mean, that right there. Wait, can I read it again? The clumsy idiot upset the vase, he knocked it right over. Yeah. Objection. Mr. Kudo, this is a photograph of the crime scene.
Huh. So what?
Look carefully at the table. The vase is there, intact.
Huh?
Lost your tongue, Granddad?
I'm no granddad of yours, hopscotch.
Ow! Ow!
Enough! If you throw any more seeds in this courtroom, the cleaners will be here all night. Ah!
What is it now?
I just remembered something.
Yes, go on.
The broken vase. It was on my table.
What?
Well, you see, it startled me when that young lad collapsed, so I stood up. That must have been when it fell over. The vase on my table, I mean.
The vase on your table?
Yes, it was on my table. And that's how my groin came to be completely soaked.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Kudo.
You've certainly earned your kudos for today. I'd like to ask a question now. Have I been any use at all? Perhaps that's something you should reflect on yourself, Mr. Kudo. Ah, wait a minute. If that's the case, there's more. I've got more to say. Oh, yes, I remember something else. Bailiff, escort the witness out of the courtroom. Wait, listen to me.
Uh-huh. That was one of the trolliest testimonies in the whole series up to this point.
Well, we seem to have been considerably sidetracked, and I'm still not in a position to deliver a verdict. The defendant has not been positively identified as the waitress in question. Additionally, there are two disparities in the testimony we've heard thus far.
The mark on the coffee cup that the victim supposedly drank from with his left hand, and the earpiece, which was inserted into his left ear, out of which he couldn't hear. Wow, Nick, you did it!
I therefore require both the defense and the prosecution to further investigate the facts.
Yes, Your Honor.
There's one more thing before I call today's session to an end.
One more thing, Your Honor?
The witness we just heard from. He's most insistent that his testimony should be of use, so he summarized it accordingly into this statement.
Okay.
You may each have a copy of it if you wish.
Whatever. The prosecution doesn't need props like that. Kiddo's really mad, huh? Yeah, I would be too.
Very well. Here you are then, Mr. Wright. There are 3 copies, my own, yours, and Mr. Godot's.
Yes, Your Honor. When the incident occurred, I broke the vase at my seat. I'm sorry. Okay? I'm sorry? This isn't a piece of testimony. More like a 5-year-old's apology. What the heck are we supposed to do with 3 copies?
That is all. This court is adjourned.
To be continued. Okay. And that is a good place to call it. All right, we'll continue the investigation next time. So, good night, everybody, and talk to you later.